Remember when he
play on
tried
a
to
team. I
rebrand
played on
to
a
a
team with
boxer?
I'm
Longers
back.
and the dude that we just played against, Maz.
Oh yeah.
Microphone
the three of us
activated.
were on a team together.
Microphone muted.
Got a Molly's flash
Crazy
combo.
boy. That's my boy,
Be
dude.
away
He's a
from-
fucking construction worker.
Selling smokes to
Lives
Nart.
in New York.
Dude,
Walks
Mirage
like this.
Masterclass.
He's awesome. Amen.
The Voo Smoke, man. Voo Smoke, Sam Boost. Nart need to get your name in the game too. Yo, you should just copy a demo, copy a nade that you see in a demo, throw it yourself, watch the demo back of you throwing it on a fake team, and then be like, this is the Nart Smoke. And then your name's gonna be in the game, implanted.
Come on.
Microphone
Where's
activated.
the demo?
Is this up yet?
No.
Oh,
You do the comms?
yeah, I already have the comp set up. Dang, that dude had a 32% headshot. That's kind of crazy. Yo, Rob, I did
These are so bad.
I did a pretty good Rob impression this game. I'm not gonna lie. I had the op on B.
1v3 does? What?
Which one?
When I was B with the op, I did a pretty good Rob impression.
Oh, that
No,
1v1?
Oh, you did.
The 1v1? Oh, not the 1v1.
That's what I thought you was talking about too, bro.
Wait, I mean, yeah, if I'm doing a Rob impression, yeah, sure, yeah, the 1v1.
No, you don't want to bring the 1v1 back into this.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that round. When we're watching this demo back, we're not watching that.
Microphone
That's
muted.
awesome. No, I was watching you on the
One-way
mini-map.
smoke.
You were like, you would run and then you would stop and then you would
Thanks, Zach.
instantly, the moment
GG's.
you stop,
Thank you for the
kill
dono.
guy. You would run,
Microphone
you would
activated.
stop, kill another one.
Yeah, bro, I felt so good doing that. I don't know, it just came out of me, naturally. I was feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, if you got good movement, like, you got the confidence, like you could be amazing operator. You know, like that's what makes oppers great is like their mechanics. You know,
Yeah.
just being able to like fucking perfectly strafe around the corner, stop, flick around, dead.
Yeah,
Like,
you
if
gotta
I
hit
could
that
aim with the
KZ, Rob.
scope,
Huh?
I said, you gotta hit that KZ.
Why?
please,
KZ
dude,
grind.
please, when you get 30 op kills in a match, then you can fucking talk.
Okay. KZ go crazy.
Dude literally had 29 op kills, dude. That was like the stat on the match page.
For what? Wait,
The
what
match
map?
page on Overpass.
Oh
dude.
yeah. Yeah, that's Rob's
game that
map.
we won in overtime.
Hey Sam,
that
you
was
play
like,
anything but Inferno?
Rob had like
What's your
11
recent
kills
matches
in
on
like
his
3
series?
rounds.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah, you talking about the 1v4, or not the 1v4, like we got the. I know what you're talking about, like those combos. And yeah, all my recent matches are all Inferno. League scrim.
Microphone
You
muted.
said I'm Cadian. Op IGO. Cadian's hype. Cadian's inspirational, man.
Your calling just keeps getting better and better, Sam.
Microphone activated.
Thanks, man.
Good shit, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Finding new ways to like combo that stuff, like do this and that, you know, like keep them guessing.
Yeah, like you're even like things that you may have been like thinking about in the past, like now you're like vocalizing them and giving them like more validity to like for everybody to like understand, you know what I mean? Like I don't remember what specifically you're recalling because a lot of the times honestly like I'm not like 100% focused on like what you're saying because I'm just like so disconnected from the pack on T side. I know I'm going alt mid, you know, so it's like, but like you're saying like you know we're like you're explaining why we're gonna like do this round because we're conditioning for it for like you know next round or like 2 rounds from now. And like at the start of almost every round, I feel like I'm hearing you like say like what we should be planning for mid round, which you didn't do at all when I joined the team, you know?
Yeah.
And like it was something that even though we talked about it like 3 or 4 times independently, like over the course of like maybe like 3 weeks last season, you were like struggling to like implement that into your calling, and now it's like something that it's like it just seems like second nature. Like you're just saying, you know, you're saying everything that we talked about before, you know, consistently,
Yeah, hell yeah.
which really
Thank you.
helps us too. Like it helps me like just understand like, you know, when to take map control or like when to just like freeze and just make sure like we can't get aggressed on. And you know, because if I know like we're planning to like play for phase 3, you know, maybe it just like allows me to like, you know, play my own game, but I have a better understanding of what's going on.
No, thank you. Yeah, honestly, I figured out why it was so bad. Why I couldn't like get that in there because I was afraid of like saying the wrong thing for like an end game, and like I don't know, I just had that fear of like, oh, what if I say the wrong thing? But then like kind of just realized like just cancel it. Like you don't have to
Yeah,
commit
even
to
if
it,
you
you know.
say the wrong thing, it's not even the wrong thing, you know. You're saying something and then it just turns out that there's a better option later, you know.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like
Yeah.
that's fine, you know. But like by like giving us like a mid-round goal or an end round goal, it just allows us to like have a good picture of like how like we should like as individuals like be doing the things that we're doing. And like when there's a freeze or when there's like a cancel, like I feel like everybody already has a better idea then like okay, like what like where are my teammates at, where are we going, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, for me it really helps with just like building a picture in my head, you know, for like you know, where the players are, where my players are going to be, and like where I need to care, you know, if we're having to cancel. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, it
Like
makes
on
perfect sense.
overpass
Yeah, yeah.
especially, it really helps.
Yeah, I was about to say I noticed it too. I know we just seem to be like a lot more connected across the map because of that.
Yeah.
A lot more map cohesion overall.
Microphone muted.
You said Katie without the hype. Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie, I do need work on the motivation, getting hyped up. That's
Yeah,
a
no
mental
doubt.
game.
And the comms are getting a lot better too.
Microphone
Yeah,
activated.
thank you. That's for everyone too.
For
It comes,
from
yeah.
everyone. I'm not just saying for you, but from everybody.
Microphone muted.
Said Katie, I thought you meant you chokes. Yeah, I have an email. It should be like in the description of my YouTube. Sag. Yeah, man, it's kind of hard not be scared of some deep stuff going on there. Fear of failure. I mean, addressing that gets rid of the fear of failure in game too. So that's why I'm improving that way. But yeah, dude, you talking about the hype? Mental game of poker? You about to see me as the new hype man. I had some epiphanies over this weekend. Did rosters lock? Did they?
Microphone
Yo,
activated.
did rosters lock already or no?
I don't know.
I think
I got a
next week.
message about it, but I
Oh,
don't know
next
when
week?
it was.
It might be this week. It might have been
Who's,
Under
who's
today.
trying
2
to get on the
weeks.
roster?
11-7. Oh no, Nart just asked.
Yeah, next week I think.
Not roster riding? Hell yeah! Get
Yeah,
him
he
on
said he wants
there.
to roster ride. They'll get him in here. That'd be intimidating. Teams
Yeah,
click on our
but
team page,
having-
they see Nart. Like, oh shit.
You know the team password because I don't.
I'm about to reset it. Is it? I don't want to say it.
You almost
What-
said
I
it.
almost said. I almost
I know
said.
what you were gonna say. I don't know if it's that or not.
I'm gonna make it that.
Would Nart be able to play if we needed him to?
Nart played as a sub.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
Like if we needed him.
Yeah, is he good at the game? Kevin, never seen him play.
Nart said no. He says he doesn't play. Yo, I'm gonna DM you the password, Nart. On Twitter.
It would be great if we could get us like a sub, just to have like as a backup or as a coach. I wish my fucking buddy Ninja was still around.
Is he an old head too?
Did he die?
Yeah, he, honestly, he might have.
Oh, are you
Like,
serious?
he straight up disappeared like 4 months ago.
Oh shit.
Like I've called his phone numerous times, just always goes straight to voicemail. Like hasn't been on Steam. And I mean, he worked like I forget what he did exactly, but he worked in like computer science. Like he worked from his home, you know. So
Yeah.
usually, like even like he'd be like on Steam, even if he's working.
Yeah, that's actually kind of scary.
Like he might have gone to jail. Maybe like he was just a little bit crazy. He might have gone to rehab or something.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. It's like, what
could have
if
just had to change his number or something, then stop playing.
when you said he goes to voicemail,
Yeah.
you probably hear his voicemail, or is it the robot
No,
one?
it goes like it's his voicemail.
Oh shit.
Hi, this is Eric Bayer.
I always wonder this. Like, you got friends online. Like, if they just died, like, how would you ever know they just died?
Right, dude. I used to be like best friends with this dude Clouden. I would play CS with him like routinely. Dude just disappeared. Nobody knows. Clouden was like good friends with that dude Maz. Like Tommy don't know. Nobody knows, dude. I have people messaging me like randomly, like every other month or something. Like, yeah, have you like heard anything from Clouden? Where is this guy?
Yeah, it's especially when you don't know their name, you can't even like look them up in the obituary or nothing. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
his
left
last name.
wondering.
His first name is Mike, but I don't know his last name. How many Mikes are there in St. Louis? Like shit.
yeah. Nart said he'd maybe get coached depending on the schedule. He said, "Tell him where to aim the smokes."
I used to do that a
30
lot
literally
with,
every time. Oh
when I, like,
shit.
when I
I
knew
forget
Andrew
his
was
stream.
dead when he was playing those, and I knew he was like watching me, I'd just like tell me where to aim. And he would just like guide me.
Up.
Liger?
By the dot. Other dot.
Did you say Liger?
No, it's what I didn't do it with Liger, but when Andrew was on the team and he was dead and he was spectating me, I was like, yeah, where do I aim?
I remember playing Overpass once, and you were along with Sam, or Sam was dead, and Sam.
Oh, he
like,
taught me the
told you
truck
where to
volley.
throw.
Yeah.
Oh.
You remember it?
No, definitely not.
Damn, man.
Dude, that was like
And
a week ago,
I
man.
specifically remember after the scrim, you said you learned it.
I did. I
You
learned.
lied
it.
to me, man. You
can learn-
lied.
you can learn things and then forget them.
No, dude, that's not learning.
Learning doesn't mean it's permanent.
What does learning
It's
mean?
supposed to.
It means you know it until you don't.
Know it till you don't. I like that. Yeah, we got Nart on the roster. That's kind of crazy. People ought to be
Welcome,
scared.
Nart. Welcome.
D plus. Male out here.
Dude, demo's still not up.
Male out here.
Yeah, you see that? You played a league match in 20. Yo, he used to play. He got 16-3. Rest in peace.
We got 16-4 earlier this season.
Yeah, we did. Wasn't on train though.
Thank God. Dude,
16-6.
fuck that, man.
Yeah, I see why Nart doesn't play, man. Look at his last matches.
That one was a 4v5.
Toxic,
Oh,
dude,
was?
don't make him leave
Yeah.
just after he got on.
Wait, which one was it?
The second one, I think. Second
I'm
from
back
the
to
top.
it. We got demo.
Oh damn, it was a
Still
4v5.
not up, dude. But we got a new 6-man.
Yeah, we got a new guy on the team.
Mhm.
Check the
Yeah.
roster.
We got AJ.
Dang, Nart carried this game.
Fucking nerd.
I see you with the
I got HE damage.
28
Got
headshot.
lineups.
21 R dubs. The best pickup in Maine. On this team. I don't even know these people. 2019. I don't even think I was playing.
Me neither.
I think I just started playing like Face It in 2019. You got Goat standing.
But yeah, let's do the demo fast when it's ready because I
Yeah, it's
didn't
just
get enough
taking
sleep this
forever.
weekend. So yeah, I just want to be fresh for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll skip ecos. And then
Let's
any
check out Samara's
rounds,
team.
any rounds that we can't think of like anything bad happen, we'll just skip those two. Be like, oh, that's a good round.
Playing team. I don't know how you say this. Danko.
Dang.
Danko.
Danico.
Yeah, I don't know.
Danico.
Yeah, I don't know. They're
Alright,
one
they
in
have a
5
forfeit
with a
win.
forfeit win.
Oh shit. 1v5 with a. All right. Easy dub. That gets
Fuck it, let's play 'em on
5-2.
Mirage.
Play him on Mirage. Test
Fuck
our
it.
test our
Yeah.
skill.
Microphone muted.
See his input on our gameplay.
They've
gonna
only
teach us a
played
bunch of
for
nades.
Mirage.
Solution. New smoke.
Microphone
That's the only two maps they
activated.
play.
What's up with these
That's all
demos,
they've
man?
played.
I swear these
Overpass or
demos
something.
take like so
Demos are
long.
trash, man.
Yeah, recently at least.
Microphone
Yeah, it
muted.
seems like it's just recently because I don't remember this being a problem last
When is
season.
next match?
Even for matches that were like overtime, it didn't take long.
Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. And then after that, we got one Wednesday 8:30. Thursday 9. Damn, everyone's editing. I feel bad. I'm not editing right now. Actually, I have nothing to edit. I gotta film more content. I'm not gonna lie. I got everything in the storage right here. Got the inventory.
Yeah, the match tomorrow is 30 minutes earlier.
Microphone activated.
It is.
It's at 8:30
Let me see
Control.
what time we get out.
instead of 9. Because when I was scheduling these are the ones they added, and it wouldn't let me select 9 Central. It was only 8:30 or 9:30.
I should be good. I could leave. I mean, my brother lives at where I work, and so I could just leave whenever, and he just takes over. So if I gotta leave early, that's fine.
Microphone muted.
Is your team looking for a T-side overpass
And
Molotov?
that's sick. Like, do you guys own the building?
Yeah, I think so. Or
Your
Crazy.
dad has his business?
Microphone activated.
No, we were renting it, but there's like a basement that we don't use, so the people said we get the basement too for an extra 300. My brother just pays that and lives down there.
Wow, that's
So it's a
sick.
cheap ass spot to live.
Hell yeah. You ever
And he
kick
works
it
there
with him over
too. Yeah.
He just goes upstairs to work.
Yeah, literally, he just wakes up, goes upstairs, works, and
That's kind of good.
yeah, can't be late. Plus, my mom makes food because it's like pretty much a house there too. So I got a maid, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I got a maid at my job.
Microphone
Yeah,
muted.
it's fire. You always say you're at work, and then I like get on
Microphone
Steam,
activated.
and I just see you like
He's in-
watching a demo or something.
You just see me
Yeah.
on CS, just like
Yeah.
practicing nades or demo. I
I
got a
don't know what
maid.
you're doing, but you're doing something, dude.
I have so much free time. Like I wait. I just sit at the front desk in between clients, and
Yeah,
every
yeah.
half hour someone comes in, and then in the meantime, I don't do shit. So might as well practice.
Yeah, that's
Microphone
perfect.
No doubt.
See big content creators and small streams. Love the community. Make sure the smoke. He's bullying me, man. Keeping the man down. What background? There's a background? This? I don't even know if did I change this? I don't know. Oh, the client? I think this is because of your rank. Could be wrong. I haven't pugged ESA in forever. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's because you're ranked.
Microphone activated.
Oh, it is because of the rank? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we grind for rank G? Is that still like respectful?
I don't know. Nobody pugs the ACA, so who the fuck cares?
It's true.
It does look cool in your profile. That's about it.
It does look pretty cool.
I'll do it with you.
You would?
Yeah, I'll do a queue ESA pugs at like 2 in the morning.
Can you see how many people are queuing without queuing?
I don't know. Maybe.
Bro, this demo is still not up.
Microphone muted.
I'm sure you're getting art there, innocence. That content. That free narc content. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'd be curious to see what Nart would think about the game. Because I know you watch like a fuck ton of demos, so probably very like in tune with the metas and stuff. Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched any new demos in like the past month and a half. But that's because like it's different when you're like a player, you know, versus content creation. Because content creation, you find something new and you record it, and post it. But like if you're a player, like you have to actually like ingrain that in your brain, you know. And I realized I was learning too much new shit, so I was like, I gotta work on my mistakes. But that's why I'd be curious, like how you would see the game, see what I can do. Mahone, ESL Challenger. What, like having Vu demo review like a NA ECL teams? Would you actually coach? You gonna be a hype coach? You gotta be like Melanin. Oh, you don't even know Melanin. We tried this one coach, Melanin. That dude was hype as hell, man. Coming in, NACS talent needs. Like a demo. Are you talking about like a demo breakdown, Ike? UCL? Give some feedback. If you want, I mean, yeah, that'd be sick. At least Vu admits it, man. Advance enough time. You don't wait. Are you being serious about that? You have to get like the knowledge to like make some like in-depth shit. I'll play as a team. I elo and NA where everyone is somehow. Just don't put the interesting in-depth stuff into videos. They're more for okay. For the TikToks. You should like you've been you've been catering to like the beginners. You should just drop some like random like 2-hour video on just like theory. Just get like some crazy in-depth shit and no one will understand. But then you like look really smart. So then they're gonna want to watch even more because they're like, oh, eventually if I keep watching his videos, then I'll be able to understand this. And you get it audience retention. Silver Elite EMS. Wait, what do you need, Ike? You talking about videos for beginners? 70-minute improvement guide. Oh, I know what video you're talking about. I remember watching that when I first started playing. Dude, I used to take notes on Vu videos, man. I'm not gonna lie. I used to take notes on that. On like all your videos. Yeah, nothing high level. Yeah, that stuff does get pretty complicated. And you need like that's the thing with those things too, like the complicated high level stuff is like there's like build up to it. You can't just like talk about one aspect of it without like talking about everything that builds up to it. So it's like it gets pretty complicated. It's not beginner shit. The videos are you see like old Vu videos and old videos from Josh, but he's in Are you talking like Josh Nissan? Yeah, I watched the hell out of his videos too. I studied his videos. I took notes on those. I studied everything. I studied Nart videos. I still study Nart videos. When I first started playing, I studied Vu videos. I watched all your shit and took notes on that. More specific and boring. Well, I mean, they're boring to like the average population, but people take it seriously or like really into it. Because I was really into a lot of the more specific stuff. But yeah, it's a more niche audience though. You're not gonna get as many viewers. It's pretty hard to find that stuff. I feel like Nart's content just like gets everyone because like beginners, tips and tricks, everyone loves that, and then like even people who are into the game still learn shit from Nart videos. Like he's got the best of both worlds. But like literally every time there's an art video, I'm like, all right, I gotta take out time on my day to like take notes on this shit. I take all the screenshots and I gotta put them in refrag, all the nades I got saved from that. Like, dude, my phone is probably 30% screen recordings of Nart videos and screenshots of Nart videos. Yeah, actually, you know, Nart is a demo rap, I'm not gonna lie.
Microphone activated.
Yo, this is ridiculous with this demo, dude. I'm not gonna lie. This is crazy.
Bro, I'm watching the dude stream from earlier.
Who?
The dude that streamed their match.
Oh, really?
It. Oh my god. They're like drunk, dude.
You get caster? Mental Mike?
There's been about It's 5 rounds in. There's been at least like 4 or 5 fucks. Bunch of shits.
Is it after the Davenport game?
Yeah.
Let's see about.
Oh yeah, watch the you can watch this as the duo. This fucking thing never comes up.
All that hot shit.
Come on, let's
Dang, they got the B-roll and everything, dude.
Yeah, come on. Waiting for these guys is such a pain in the ass sometimes.
They had
Dude's
B-roll?
lighting a joint.
Yeah.
Dude,
We were
They
fucking
got
streaming.
they got an old school
And we were like,
TV
yo, come
cam,
on.
and it's like
Holy shit,
dude
the
lighting a
buzz.
joint on it. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Expensive AK.
Doing Paul proud.
Really a nice joint. And now
That's
show
what I'm
you
doing
how
right
He
it's
said
now.
it's fucking
done
pearled,
in a
baby.
like way. I promise you guys, yo, no one rolls joints like me. Tactical quick pipe taught me how to roll my first joint, and I rolled that shit.
Yo, what the fuck kind of casting is this?
Fucking pearls.
Love to see it. You love to see it.
I'm rolling
The
pearls
Mikey,
all
the
fucking
Mikey
day, man.
method, best method. All 5 players in the server
can't
now,
roll for
now we're
shit.
just waiting.
It's actually kind of embarrassing. Like I can
Ship slap.
roll something if I want to
Thank
like
you.
something
Thank you,
just for
thank you, thank you
myself.
so much, growth and love.
But if I had to like roll for a group of people, I'd be like, can someone else roll?
Set up one
Get
player
nervous?
lane, one player lane,
I'm just
one
not.
player
I'm not that good at it. And I don't.
So
I almost
always
never
go
do it,
and
like,
fucking- and everybody in
I
between.
usually vape it most of the time. So
Mm.
I'll teach you how to tuck and roll at land, dude.
What this guy smoke?
yeah,
This
you
is
can
tea?
perfect
Let's
it
see what goes
for
on here.
me.
So you're gonna opt to hit on B here.
That's the technique, dude. It's called tuck and roll.
Find one.
Damn, bro.
Gonna find the
They
open.
were full blind when they killed you, Eli. I'm watching this back right now.
Right there.
Yeah,
No good,
Sam
no
Brady.
bueno,
yeah, I
Maris.
saw.
Ball back to
Pushing.
CT.
Was
A nice
unlucky.
bomb play for God Complex.
Yeah.
There we go, and then now it's just a four. Now it's
It's
just
just fucking
matter of
picture
They're literally
grab
full
me the
blind, bro.
fuck out, bro.
And dude's
Dude,
like,
how does
he
his
flashed
headshot
his
not kill him?
teammate,
I hit him for.
bad
I
idea.
headshot him for 99. New
Yeah, I
bots.
just saw that. Are we in the same time? Oh, you're watching the stream. I forgot
I'm
about that.
watching your stream.
Joker, Mod, and H-Tip cleaning stuff up, and there you have it. This
Fucking
round,
grab
by
the
way, is all
broom. Grab the trash can. He's throwing them out.
Fucking
So back to better off.
alrighty.
Imagine this is how the major was
Oh, this is
produced.
such a good-
That
I
was
got-
produced.
guy-
This guy's hilarious, bro. You just
I actually
bite.
like this guy. He's funny as fuck.
How you doing, bro? Watching without audio. Well, you should be hearing
Big
this shit
nade,
right
big
now.
nade.
We love you, Spec.
Yeah, I just get on here. I'm just slow as fuck. Literally.
What
walk
the
these
boost?
LCTs with a really interesting boost. They're boosting over half wall from logs. Just to get an off angle.
Bro,
onto the
I got
guys.
you. I got your fucking clip, Spec. Sorry, on a side note, guys. I got your clip of that fucking.
Wait, he
5K.
did that to you with an auto shot?
That was fucking clean. That was
It
clean.
was
And,
clean.
and to finish it off with a 4K like that when your team was down, that was smooth. bro.
Yeah, bro. Holy shit. That last
tell-
fucking
you gotta
one
tell-
shot, bro.
You gotta tell Davenport to cut the stream when we're watching your matches.
Just look, dude.
right?
I'm fucking slow.
Anwar gonna find an opener onto Banana. And Samuel's gonna find two, one
Oh.
deep.
It's gonna be
Damn, bro, they call me Sam Marie.
God Complex here.
Fuck.
Yeah. Stupid ass eyes, dude.
Sam Marie, huh? Let's go.
Silent. He's gonna take a shot. Sees that his two players cross.
Some fucking shit talk. Oh, dude, you should watch the vlog back because there was some shit talk against you, bro. It was hilarious.
H-Tip right
I
now.
can't remove the eye, man. I gotta keep the eye.
But we love you, bro.
Microphone muted.
It's Samurai. Samurai.
Think you have to keep it?
One with the
Microphone
angle.
activated.
You don't
I-
think
I- dude, I
Samurai's
feel
better
like
than
I-
Samurai?
I just feel like I'm too deep now. I'm too deep.
You just dig yourself deeper by not going back. The
But it's
time
like-
you
it's
went back
like-
is when we were, like months ago.
Dude, like it's too perfect though, cause like my name's Sam, my last name's R. It's like Samurai. It's like a play on word, like Tim, like automatic.
get it.
Like it's like
Yeah.
it's too perfect.
The
It's
best,
not that good
the
though. It's-
best
automatic's
CS
way
name
better.
ever is Armin Tuzi. You know
Are
that
mean
guy?
to no.
Armin, like the old NA player.
Like A2C?
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
A2Z.
A2Z.
Yep. Armin Tuzi, that's his name, and then his name A to Z, which is like A to Z, but also like his last name. Tuzi.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty sick.
That's pretty
You're
cool.
rivaling him. You're rivaling him, bro. I
Yeah.
like the Samar, dude. The
Thanks, man.
Samurai, dude. Samurai is good. Dude.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thank you. That's my
Well, you
dad's the
could,
one he
like, you
said
could
on accident. I was
spell-
like, that's decent.
For God complex,
You could do like samurai and just capitalize the correct letters.
Well, that's why I
Might be a
put
little
the
more obvious.
capitalized R, so it's like Sam R I.
window, he's gonna go down.
But then I see why people say Sam Ree.
Sam Reed.
Like it looks like Sam Ree.
It's so funny to me.
I remember Nart. He said that before in one of his videos. Andrew kept on joking about that like ever since then. He's like Sam Ree.
And here we go, Scorpion spot.
It's always Sam Ree or Sammer. That's what people say.
Just gonna try and phase this. Let's see Wheeler with his
You get
back to the
Sammer?
Yeah, that's what OC called me. He called me. He's like, "Oh, hey Sammer, can you drop me AK?" And I was like,
Sammer?
I didn't want to correct him. I was like, yeah.
You didn't correct him?
No, I
You
was
didn't
like,
stand up for yourself.
I couldn't.
It's Sam R.
Sammer. Yeah, these guys are these guys are awesome, man. Dude, this demo's still not up.
Microphone
Yeah,
muted.
thanks for the follow,
Yeah,
bad boy.
Dude.
Honestly, like at this point, you did wait for the demo, you
Microphone
get the comm
activated.
synced and everything. It's gonna be too late.
Yeah, you want to just call it? Watch
Yeah.
it tomorrow. Actually,
Yeah,
probably
I'm
want
not
to
trying
try.
to party poop. Like I'm
Keep
kinda,
watching this guy.
No, you're good.
you know,
It's probably
stream.
better if we just call it so you play better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all about balancing that. Yeah, we'll call it then. That's so fucked, man. These demos. I swear they never used to take this long.
Yeah, it's the advanced stat stuff that update changed it.
Mm. Yeah, how long has it been? Like half hour?
More
Yeah,
than that, we
more.
started at 9:15.
It's
like
been
an
an
entire
hour.
hour. Yeah.
Dude
Wow.
posted 49 minutes ago. GG.
Yeah, it's okay. Now we know, so can't really wait around for that. Should just do something
You
else.
might be able to tomorrow because the match starts 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like in the meantime, instead of us waiting, we could
Oh,
do something else. You know, it's gonna take like an hour every time. Like this happened to us like 3 times already. Where we wait for the demo, and it just takes an hour, and we just sit around doing nothing. So yeah, we'll call it here. We'll call it here.
Big fan of doing nothing.
It's pretty easy.
It's nice.
All right, I'm head out, y'all.
Yep,
GG's.
All right, boys.
Good shit, good shit.
GGs.
User disconnected from your channel.
All right, stream. It's 2-0. I'll buy it quick. Oh, the final. Yeah, I know. I wanted to see her go all the way. I was rooting for them, man. They follow me on Twitter. I got to root for Rourke. You ever get a coach demo from the IGL of Red Wolves? A coach demo from the. No, I don't know what that is. Who's Red Wolves? Get a free skin. I'm new to CSGO. Getting off. All right, peace out, Art. Like the Challenger team? I don't even know who those guys are. Let me see. Who's on this? That name looks familiar. That name looks familiar. Fatality. Damn, I don't know this guy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that many people either. I'm not like huge into that. Okay, man. Let's do some demo notes. Some demo notes. I got some time. We're not practicing. Just the title. Do one of our demos. All right, let's go. Let's go. Actually, hold on. I have enough space. Walk out of here. Get some more people up in this John. Your own demo. I won't anti-strat. Oh yeah, we're playing. Yo, I'm not watching demo on stream. I totally forgot we're playing you. Hell no. There's no way. What do you mean you won't do it? It's impossible not to do it if you watch it. You're gonna do it subconsciously, man. Everybody watch out for Paula. Every name I know for Mirage. See, that's the thing. All the names I know for Mirage is the ones everyone else already knows. I don't play that shit, man. It's so stale. Better be careful, Paula. Alright, let me see where I left off at. What effect re picking the car in. Effect re sending the college. I don't disappointed use. I can't hear you at this altitude too. Should I never die? Oh yeah. Check my mods and has not been sent. You get auto modded? Rest in peace. Alright, this is Furia versus EG. I watched this September 28th. This is a nuke game. Let me go to nuke. Damn, everyone's getting auto modded. UBDLW. Ultimate. What is it? Dark Lord Wizard? What is UB? Who needs to get a new opera? Better not be talking about us. We got some top 350 gameplay from our opera. Oh, EG? What, Cirque? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched any EG. I haven't watched any EG games, so I don't have any comment on that. I was watching this demo from the standpoint of Furia, so I knew better. I knew better than to watch EG and take notes. Alright, I'm looking through his notes here. See what's worth talking about. How about a sneeze? All right, let's see. There's like a pick play you could do, like a gimmick on your anti-ecos. I saw Fury do this. I'm sure a lot of people do know about this. If you nade the door, you just have someone come here, Molly mini, and then you just have like another guy H shit, and you can like post and try and get a pick on the guy who's playing mini. Like force him to open, or you just kill him. Or you can nade stack mini as well on your ecos. Just fucking nade this shit and then nade stack. Then you just nade stack mini after. Nice little gimmicky play. T side. And if you guys have questions too, I can talk about this stuff. I honestly, I find that stuff way more interesting to talk about and think about versus just going through these notes. So if you want me to keep these notes, I'm just gonna continue until questions come up, or if I think of something else to talk about, and then I will. But if you guys have questions, I can do that. Demo reviews, I do, but I'm probably not gonna do one tonight. This shit takes a while. Let me see. Yeah, did you play Mirage? No, I always insta-ban that and face it. We ban it on ESA. I'm never playing that shit map. It's so stale. Alright, look, there's a play. I'm sure everyone kind of knows this in Pugs, but it's like actually valid for League. But, like, everyone knows, alright, so everyone knows, like, you know, you just smoke Red Cross, right? And then you throw like secret smokes. But what you could do with this, you smoke Red Cross. This, you could use this just to get a lurk out to red. You could smoke Red Cross to, you know, come up here, get one way to smoke, and then maybe get to Africa, get a lurk to Africa. You can also smoke Red Cross, like I said, to throw secret smokes. You could throw this and then do island smokes where the lurk just gets here, and then you late throw secret smokes, and then he walks down. What I saw Furia do, because that smoke's really good for showing presence. Like all the options I just talked about, like that shows presence to the CTs, and it keeps them guessing about outside because you can be up close, you know? And so what I saw Furia do in this game versus EG, they kept on conditioning Red Cross smoke and then not going with it, or late throwing secret smokes off the Red Cross smokes. And then one round, they just pace changed with this. And in classic Furia fashion, dude, they just smoked this, and then like 4 people just came out here and just swung this shit dry. And just get a pick on the guy who like comes out here to op or peek this, because he's not expecting like 4 people to come out here dry. Like the way they did this is they'd smoke Red Cross, get to red, and then throw secret smokes. So like the pacing and like the CT's minds are like, oh, they're gonna late throw this, and then he comes here and then they just fucking wide swing him out of nowhere, just dry. Like I've called this before in games. I've called this in Pugs League, and like doing this like once or twice a half, like dude, you'll get like easy kills because no one just expects to just dry swing this. How to Pug like Furia? I wish I could answer that. So I can push everything, man. Be born in Brazil and just run at everything. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Rincon. Nah, Nuke is goated. Can't wait to. That's not happening, bro. Play with viewers, deathmatch server here, and there would be fun. I would, dude. I would be so much more down to like do viewer demo reviews, play with viewers, pug with viewers, and stuff like that. If I had more time, like I literally don't have any time. Once I'm able to quit my job and pursue YouTube, I'll have time for shit like that. But as of now, I am very busy, and a lot of my time is focused towards the team and my own personal improvement. Yo, what's good, BD son? Let me see. Damn, these are all scrim notes. Yo, y'all saying self-improvement. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I actually have some notes about that, some other epiphanies I had, which actually I enjoyed talking about that. I enjoyed talking more about CS theory, answering viewers' questions, and talking about like mental game stuff. I enjoy that way more than just going through tips and tricks I get from my notes, because those are like more for me. But yeah, no, I just find those to be way more enjoyable to talk about. That's why like I don't mind like streaming, but like when I gotta do these tips and tricks, like sometimes I'm into it. But if it's like old notes, then there's just like this stuff's so like already ingrained in my head. Like I just don't even want to talk about it. It just doesn't seem interesting. Like if I just learned about a new tip, then it's like, oh, that's awesome. But if I already know it, then it's kind of boring. I actually have to save this. I saw Cadian throw this. I thought that was pretty sick. I was like, oh shit, I gotta steal that. He threw that. Kevin is doing. How do you stay focused at 100% during league matches? I feel like I'll then go get lost in it. What do you get lost doing? Because getting lost in your head is loaded. Getting lost in the head could be a bunch of different things. You get lost in your head because you're bored. You get lost in your head because you're overthinking. You get lost in your head because you're not you're not stimulated emotionally enough. Because of ADHD. So what about the ADHD makes you get lost in your head? Because I have ADHD as well. Just not focused. So yeah, so like what's making you not focused? Is it things distracting you? What is it? Because you got to be specific when it comes to mental game stuff. You can't list a generic symptom and then try and treat that, because it's just like CS. Like you gotta work on mental game things by like analyzing it and being like actually very specific. Like you don't go to Nuke and be like, oh, how do you take out, like, why am I losing outside control? And it's like, how are you taking outside? What smokes are you throwing? Oh, what went wrong? Are you running protocols? What are your protocols? Like you gotta get into detail. You know what I'm saying? Probably stimulation. I'm not really sure though. I just be focused and then on focus because I'm not active. So it's like you feel like you need more stimulation. Like it becomes uninteresting. Is that what you're saying? Like you're watching the angle and then it's like, oh, this is boring, and then you unfocus. You struggle to stay connected. All right, so there's two people talking, so I gotta distinguish what both of you guys are saying. Not distraction, but like you struggle to stay connected to what you do. An aggressive player by nature, I find holding shit. I just get bored and unfocused. So what's boring about holding an angle? It's a serious question. Why is that boring to you? Because everyone's different. I can like these are the questions you gotta ask yourself, because like if you have like a problem with like, you know, boredom, unfocused, you know, just dig deeper. Like, why is that boring to you? Oh, if it's boring because I feel like I just need to be stimulated, then it might be a physical, you know, necessity to be stimulated. You might have like a dopamine tolerance, so like things that should be stimulating aren't stimulating you, and that I would recommend getting on that no fat, stop eating your meat, stop watching porn, you know, go on some like dopamine detox, don't go on your phone all the time, because you know, if the problem is a physical need for stimulation, as in like dopamine, then you need to make yourself be sensitized to dopamine again, because a lot of people have a high tolerance for dopamine, and they end up finding things that should be enjoyable not enjoyable because it doesn't give a super what would more place more days say, super physiological effect of dopamine. They don't have like super physiological levels of dopamine that they produce, you know, as in like TikTok gives you a crazy amount of dopamine. Porn, you know, a lot of medication, weed, that all gives you a crazy amount of dopamine. So if the problem of getting unfocused is because of a physical addiction, then you would want to go on a dopamine detox, stop beating your meat and all that good stuff. But I'm fine holding shit, and I'll just be on. For example, T-side, I play Banana Inferno, and I really like making enemies uncomfortable, so I'd be on their side 20 seconds in the round. Then I can't really stay focused if I'm not finding impact, like using util-wise or kill-wise. Why is that? Why does that make you unfocused? Fucking off stims for a bit, a good idea. Yeah, I try to stay as sober as possible. You see the shit James said about? Yeah, I did see that. I disagree. I'm not gonna lie. Imbalance versus tolerance as an Adderall. So yeah, there's ADHD medication, but I don't know, from what I've heard from medication, I've heard this from Dr. K, it's like you can achieve the same results of medication by doing mental game work and like working on your mental health. It takes longer, and it's work. Whereas like, you know, if you have like a mom with like 6 kids and they all got to go to school, like that mom doesn't have time to help each kid, you know, with their mental health, to get them to not, you know, to be able to manage their ADHD. So it's just easier to get on medication. So like, I'm not going to tell people not to take medication or to take medication, but I'm telling you that most of the times you can see insane way, like you can see a crazy amount of improvement in mental health problems by like working on yourself. Like, cause I used to have really bad ADHD. So that's your Bro, I'm not gonna lie though. He said it stops you from getting angry. That sounds like I mean, I'm not gonna try and like cognitively analyze this guy, but if you need to beat off to not get angry, that sounds like a coping mechanism for anger. Because porn, or not porn, well yeah, porn, and then also when you nut, post nut, your body releases what's it called? I can't think of the chemical. Your body releases like this chemical that basically just tells you like, okay, relax. Like, it's time to relax, you know? Because like you just basically fulfilled your whole duty of life. And that can be addicting, because that can like physically override your emotions and calm you down when you can't do it yourself. So if you have a problem with emotional regulation or stress management, porn and masturbation become really addictive because it physically overrides those things and calms you down. And maybe that's why James does it. I don't know. I know that's why I used to do it. But I used to I mean, I still have a problem with this, bro. I relapse the most when I get tilted, man. That shit calms me down, you know? Consistency routine, baby. Bro plays so emotionless. That might be why. It's called semen. It's nut, cum, semen. Erectoplasm. No, dude, that literally was my coping mechanism for like my whole life was porn. So yeah, I'd play Face It, get shitted on. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna beat my meat now. And I go beat my meat. Porn. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why I laughed at that. That's not even funny. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Making up lies, making up some lies or something. Hit an aim trainer? What, with my nut? Every day I know vertigo. Oh god, dude. You guys want another every day I know? Those videos are actually so mind-numbing to make because I have to go through all these nades in here and I have to edit that, which is like, dude, the nuke one was like an 1.5 hour long video of like raw, and I had to edit that whole thing, and then it still turned out to be like 30 minutes long with all the edits. I try to make it as efficient as possible with every nade and stuff. It took forever. How can you make nuke competitive on T side? Focus outside control. I'm just gonna answer like a very basic way of approaching nuke. But a lot of teams, especially in plugs, they don't know how to take outside. So learn slash smokes. It's like the most basic smokes you could throw. Take secret. You know, take secret. Fake secret. I don't even think these are the smokes. Yeah, those aren't the smokes. I'm tweaking right now. It's like this. Slash smokes. Throw lurks one, go outside, main 2 priorities. Yeah. So you usually want to throw outside smokes, some type of lurk, util, and then you play around that because that denies the most information. Then you have a lot of space to like fake things, condition things. So you throw slash smokes, go down secret, so slash smokes go down secret. Oh, they start playing secret. Okay, let's throw slash smokes, hit lobby early. Or let's throw slash smokes and flash into garage. Or let's throw L smokes and start taking yard because now they're starting secret. So now yard's the weak point. Or oh, they play 2 outside, one secret. Okay, now we can take ramp control because now ramp's a weak point, or rush A. Something like along those lines where you condition one thing over and over and over, and then you play around that. And usually the thing that you want to condition over and over and over is like a thing that's safe to condition over and over and over. So like outside smokes are pretty safe to condition. And they give you more options late round to cash in on your conditioning. Hyperactive anxiety, that's basically performance anxiety when playing that shit. That has you shaking when you try to focus. I have that shit all the time, but it's what ruins my game. So no stims, nothing. When I get in the game and focus on my body, just shivers. I'd be you said it's an anxiety? I'd be curious what's making you anxious. If it's a general anxiety, that's all that stuff's fixable, man. I have really bad anxiety, and I've come miles, bro. I've come so far with my anxiety. Like people don't think I have anxiety. Like like a social freak. I used to have really bad social anxiety, general anxiety. A lot of stuff's going away just from sitting with it. Playing retake A, for example, and going down a man, just to mix things up on nuke. Pretty decent if you playing retake A is good for like ecos, you know, because there's high chance they rush. Also good for rifle low buys from T's, like if you know they're full loss bonus bomb plant and they lost that round, they're like 4200, 4500 ish. They're gonna be like AK armor, low util. So if they rush, they're gonna have that much util for post plant. You just play for retake and you'll out util them on the retake. So like usually rounds like ecos or rounds if you know they're low util, or if it's late game and you've been saving util, then you can just play for retake on A because you can just go stack something else and then comfort back for retake. It's all about like literally all a CS is the most summed up form is playing off of util and util options, because util gives you options. Having max util gives you max options on what you can do with the game. You know, your full util, you can do like pretty much everything. You can throw outside smokes, you can throw outside smokes at A, you rush A. So as long as you learn economy and you start tracking util, like that's the foundation of building a team, is being able to track economy. Because then you know when to call what, how to set up what, when to change your setup mid round, late round, because oh, you know, they started this round with a rifle low buy. They have a max of 2 mollies. Okay, they mollied car on Inferno. They mollied sandbags. They're out of mollies. Let's play to defend B site because they're out of util. So now you know they can't molly out new box. Like, it's all about, like, this game is foundationally, and so many people neglect this, but this game, any competitiveness that you want to achieve in this game has to be built on a foundation of math and being able to read economy, because that is like the first thing you should be thinking about for your team, and the first thing you should be thinking about of the other team. That dictates what call you're going to make, and what call you're going to make mid round, what call you're going to make phase 3, like freeze time, all that stuff. It's all around economy and tracking util. So yeah, playing for retake can be really good depending on the util of the other team. I place a head on and a benzo just to focus. How long have you been playing CS? I've been playing CS since end of 2014, like December when I got my computer. But I've taken it seriously when like COVID started, like 2019-ish, around there, a little bit before COVID started. That's when I was like, oh, this game's pretty fun. I want to like take it seriously. But yeah, what you talking about, your anxiety EMS? Look up Healthy Gamer. He's got a lot of good stuff on anxiety. The video, I have a video that's talks about what he talks about. But you can look up his video. It's original. It's called "I Can't Get Out of My Own Head" or something like that. And it's about overthinking and anxiety. Really good video. But basically, the idea is that you just sit with your anxiety and you feel it. Like, the way emotions work is that they don't go away until you feel them. Okay, so what can happen is that you have a cognitive, what I call like a bad program. You have this this cognitive distortion of reality where it's like, oh, people are judging me when I play. That could be a cognitive distortion. People are judging me, they're gonna make fun of me if I mess up. So that cognitive distortion is going to produce anxiety because it's a program running in your head. Like, you already firmly believe this. You have it down to an unconscious competence level where you don't have to think about it to believe this. You already believe it, right? So you can have some bad programming in your mind on things that you believe. So what you gotta do is that in order to be able to reframe that bad programming, that cognitive distortion, you need to be in a level state of mind, and you can't access your higher level of thinking if you are too emotional. Once your emotional energy passes a certain threshold, you literally can't think logically. It shuts off your cognitive functioning in your brain. This is a physical thing. You can't avoid it. So the solution to anxiety, all this stuff, is that when it comes up and it hits you hard, you sit with the emotion. You don't try and argue it right now. Just sit with whatever comes up, fear, anxiety, sadness, whatever emotions come up, anger, feel it, express it, so that will die down the emotion. And then once the emotion dies down, now you can attack it cognitively, find out what cognitively was messing up your mind. Oh, people actually don't think I'm bad if I mess up. And then you reframe that to something else cognitively, so now it doesn't affect you in the future. You see what I'm saying? So address emotion first with mental problems, then go to the cognitive portion, find out what's wrong, and then reframe it. And then that's how you get through it. Because some people they don't do both. You need to do both. You need to address the emotions and address the cognition. If you do just one, you'll never solve the problem, right? If you just address the cognition and be like, oh, people aren't actually, strictly watching me, that emotion's still there because you never sat with the emotion for it to go away. So the emotion will still come up and it'll actually grow because you never actually felt it. It'll keep on getting worse. And if you just sit with the emotion, yeah, you just sit with the emotion part, like, oh, the fear when you're playing, and you never try and reframe the cognitive distortion in your mind, then that emotion is going to keep on getting produced by the cognitive distortion. So you have to sit with the emotion first till it dies down. That gives you access to then be able to cognitively reframe the bad programming in your mind, which then eliminates the emotion from being produced in the future. That makes sense. Emotion first, do some digging, find the source, cognitive reframing, and you're good. You're good. I sort of sit through it, but it seems to go to dissociating instead of confrontation. So you got the same problem as me, man. You got the same problem as me, where I become so good at coping with my problems and my emotions that I don't need anything to cope with it. I cope with it with my own head and I dissociate. Like, if I have anger, I'll just dissociate, right? I've become so, like, my mind has become so good at not dealing with these things that I can do that without a phone. I can do it without nicotine, weed, alcohol. I can cope with just my head. And then you get problems of like daydreaming, dissociation, depersonalization, derealization. Those are all coping mechanisms. So sit through instead of confrontation. So the thing is, it's not a confrontation, right? With these emotions, it's not a confrontation. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about with zoning out. So what you want to do is, the problem is that so another thing with emotions, the way emotions work is that there's a queue of emotions. It's like SoundCloud, right? It's not like Spotify. You have a song playing, you hit queue, and it goes to the end of the playlist. It's like SoundCloud, where you have to do queue next, and it play next, and it goes next song. So the way emotions work is that if you want to get to the emotion that's causing you problems in game, in order to get to that emotion, you have to sit with whatever emotions you feel right now, exactly right now, because you have to get through. It's like layers. You have to get through the top layer first. Okay, I feel happy. I had a good day. And then you go to the layer underneath it. Now that emotion's gone. Oh, I feel kind of sad from earlier. Now that emotion's gone. Oh, now the anxiety from earlier today in that game, the league match is coming up. You have to get through the layers. And that starts with the very exact emotion you're feeling in that very moment, which could be happiness, right? You could finish a league game and have like really bad anxiety from the league match, and then not sit with the anxiety, and you realize that you need to sit with this anxiety, but time has already passed. There's other emotions that's come up and now added layers above the anxiety. Sit with those, eventually it will come back up. So just a good rule of thumb is, as long as you sit with your emotions at the end of every day, all these problems will eventually go away. Like literally, it will come up. Like these layers are going to, as long as you're removing layers, things are going to come up. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys ever had it where like someone you know has died. I've had it where my grandma's died, and I know I should be crying, but I couldn't cry. And the reason I couldn't cry is because there was other emotions above the crying emotion that I had to sit with these first. Oh man, I was happy. I went crazy. I went crazy and face it. Oh, I was sad from earlier because I dropped my sandwich. You got to sit with whatever's on top, and then you can get to the deep stuff. That's it. Emotions, two separate issues. They're two separate issues, but they go hand in hand. It's like two different layers of the same sandwich. Like you need both. Can't feel shit. So yeah, if you can't feel anything, then feel that. Like honestly. So that if like what I noticed is that when I couldn't feel anything and I was dissociating, depersonalized like 24/7, it's because I was trying to feel something specific. But in order to like unlock your ability to feel again, you just need to feel in general, because the way feelings work is that if you mute one of them, they all get muted. If you turn down the volume on one emotion, they all get muted. It's like a volume mixer on the computer. You can't just turn down YouTube. It turns on Spotify, it turns on Counter-Strike, it turns on everything. That's how emotions work. So if you want to feel an emotion like happiness, you have to feel sad. Like you have to feel all the emotions. And the reason why people don't feel anything is because they learn to mute them. They learn to mute the bad ones. So if you want to feel again, you probably have a tunnel of sadness, fear, anger that you're going to have to go through in order to feel happiness and all this other stuff again. Because as long as those aren't being felt, you can't feel other things. And the way to start feeling them is just to start with exactly how you're feeling in this very moment. And if you're feeling nothing, then feel that. You see what I'm saying? Just feel that. Oh, I feel nothing. I really don't feel anything. That makes me kind of angry that I can't feel anything. I just want to feel something. Now I feel angry, and then you sit with the anger. Boom. Now you're in. Now you're under. You just got into a layer, and then go through the anger. Something else is gonna come up. Boom. Go into that layer. Something else is gonna come up. Boom. And just start digging. Just start at the top though. You could feel happy and end an emotional session of just sitting with your emotions, processing your thoughts with sadness. You could start sad and end happy. Like you gotta get through the layers. See what I'm saying? Because trust me. I still struggle with depersonalization and all that stuff, but I've come, bro, it's like actually crazy. Like I never thought this shit would go away, depersonalization, derealization, and I'm starting to see immense progress for like symptom-free type stuff. It's actually crazy. It comes from sitting with emotions. And I've talked about this before, but one thing to do to try and avoid is to, instead of trying to cognitively analyze your emotions, just feel them. Like literally feel it, express it. I'll literally go in my car and I'll just like fucking whine like a baby. I'll cry like a baby just to express it and get it out. Just be like, like I'll moan, like just like, if I'm angry, just fucking get primal and just like, honestly, bro, like just expressing it vocally works really well for me. Just being like, just dumb shit like that. Like it actually helps. Like just go back to your roots of a kid. And this is my theory. Why everyone thinks like, oh my god, life was so much better when I was a kid. It's because when you're a kid, you naturally express your emotions and you don't bottle them up. When you're sad, you fucking cry and you throw a tantrum and you let that shit out. When you're mad, you get angry and you punch stuff, you throw rocks at your friends. Like when you're happy, you laugh your ass off. And then we learn to cope with these emotions by suppressing them. And now we're suppressing our anger because so-and-so said it's bad. And, being angry makes you immature. So now you suppress your anger. Now you suppress your happiness too, because you turn everything down. So that's my theory of why people always think that life was so much better when you're a kid. It's just because when you were a kid, you expressed everything. And then you learn to stop expressing things, which in turn suppresses everything. See what I'm saying? So just start by expressing stuff. Everything. Anger, sadness. Nothing wrong with being angry. Nothing wrong with being sad. Nothing wrong with crying. Nothing wrong with being scared. Fear. Don't be critical of your emotions. Feel them. And then you analyze them after. Feel, analyze, find out where it came from, cognitively reframe, and that prevents the emotion from coming back in the future if it's like anxiety based. But sometimes emotion is just going to be there. And yet that's another part of this too, is just accepting your emotions, that they're always going to be there. Like you can deal with your anxiety today. That doesn't mean you'll never feel anxiety again. Anxiety is part of being human. That's your fight or flight. Like no matter how much work I do, meditation I do, I'll always feel anxiety. If a situation comes up, I can be the most meditative person in the world, and if a black bear is chasing me, I'm gonna feel anxiety. Like that's part of being human. Same with crying. Like this stuff isn't gonna go away. You just learn how to manage it and get through it. Said this fool a therapist saying go through the shit instead of holding it in. Exactly. Everything. Don't be critical of it. Your fear. That was the thing that I always held in. I was like, oh, if I'm scared of something, that means I'm a bitch. That was the cognitive dysfunction. And so I wouldn't let myself feel fear. Hopefully that helps, EMS, because you're talking about depersonalization, all that stuff. Dude, I know how scary that shit is. It's like actually scary going through a derealization, depersonalization. I smoked weed once, like 2-3 years ago, and I had a panic attack, and I was never the same since. And that's because I depersonalized. It's a trauma coping response. Which actually, on this topic, I actually had some stuff I want to talk about. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So one thing I realized too. Yeah, no, literally, dude, I was like, that wouldn't happen to me. No, that's not taking me off track. This is what I love talking about on stream. I love talking about this shit. I literally was like, oh, that doesn't happen to people, smoke weed. This happened to Post Malone too. I saw him in an interview talking about this, but no. This is the thing, dude. It wasn't the weed. The weed wasn't the problem. The weed was it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I realized how much stuff I was just suppressing my whole life. Basically what happened was I was stressed daily, and I suppressed the stuff daily for 20 years, and then I smoked weed, and I had a panic attack that just broke the camel's back. It was the final straw, So the weed itself wasn't the problem. It was the lack of actually regulating my emotions as I was growing up. It broke the wall of suppression. No, the weed created the wall of suppression. The weed gave me a panic attack, and I would suppress things differently. I would suppress things physically, but then I had a panic attack that forced me to suppress things with a trauma coping response of depersonalization, where your body basically just depersonalizes from itself and disconnects its itself from its body, so it doesn't feel pain. It's a coping response. But the thing is, depersonalization is a symptom. It's not the problem. So the problem was actually all the stress and me not knowing how to express my anger, my fear, and get through that stuff. So that was just all buildup of stress. Smoked weed, had a panic attack, and then it was a super overload of stress. And because of this overload of stress and anxiety, my brain dissociated from my body, which is where you get depersonalization, derealization, and that's a trauma coping response. It was to cope with the stress and with the anxiety. So if that makes sense. So yeah, the panic attack actually created the wall of dissociation, but the wall of dissociation was a buildup of a wall of suppression. But yeah, the thing I want to talk about though, that I realized recently, never tripped out like that in bud. Well, that's the thing. It's not the bud. It's the stress. It's the anxiety that was built up from my whole life. Because I never knew how to deal with that stuff. The bud was just the catalyst. But what's it called? So yeah, the thing I realized, T side, CT side, if you ever do anything phase 1, like the first 30 seconds around, like you want to do it ASAP. Or so like, okay, so what I've been doing was kind of like how I approached the team was that we would have an execute, right? Let's go to Inferno. I can get back to more mental stuff in a second, but I have a list of things I wanted to talk about that I realized recently. So yeah, people know about the concept of executes, right? But to go further into that, what I realized when it comes to approaching a team, there's a good way to go about this. Yo, what's up, Spray? So how to be a pro? What's going on, dude? There's a question. I was just adding to what you were saying. Okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah, the thing I realized about executes, right? How I kind of approached it for a long time was like, okay, you have a certain execute. Let's go to B site for an example. Smoke CT, smoke coffins, Molly emo, Molly new box, Molly first and second oranges. The way I would approach it is like everyone should know how to throw all these pieces of util, so that you can throw this execute whenever you need to, which is true. Your whole team should be able to throw a piece together execute with whatever combination of util that you have, because you know you can always plan to finish B site and so can be missing a flash, so can be missing a Molly, and it's all mixed and matched around. So everyone needs to be able to throw a piece together execute with a different variety of combinations, right? But if you ever wanting to execute phase one, if you ever like end up calling executes or set plays like a pop phase one, this is where you should make it set in stone on who does what exactly. It's really hard to have an execute set in stone where like, oh, you're the dedicated entry if it's a phase 3 execute, because your entry might be dead already, or your entry might have a full util set, so now he can't entry, and you know, your IGL or your clutch player is 1 HP with no util. He should actually entry this round. So there's two different types of executes, right? You should have your phase 3, you know, phase 2 piece together executes where it's kind of sloppy. Everyone knows the general rule of thumb of how to, you know, approach it. There's not really set roles to it. People know how to throw all the pieces of util on their own. You can combine it however you want. But if you're ever doing something phase 1, first 30 seconds around, you know, you want to get it done as soon as possible. These are the executes that you should actually set in stone and make them your set plays. So like an example would be like a B pop, right? Phase 1 B pop. Okay. The way we run on our team is that Rob always throws God flashes because we can actually accurately calculate the util, who has what util, because it's as soon as possible. There's no mid rounding, there's no taking brackets, there's no app stuff. It's just like we're doing this as soon as possible. So, you know, Rob always God flashes. For example, I'll smoke CT on the fly. Then I'm the entry. Paula can know that he's supposed to be second entry. We're entry duo. Yada, yada, yada. You officialize this strat and you have actual set roles for this. So the way you should approach your maps, like any map, is to have officialized phased 1 strats and then have your piece together ones. Because for the longest time with this team, for like as long as we've been together, we've never had that many set executes or pops for phase 1 stuff. We just would piece together it phase 1 all the time, and it would lead to sloppier takes, which in phase 1 you need to actually have set roles and stuff more than you would in phase 3, because there's more counter util and more ways for the CTs to actually fuck up your execute. So this is like when you actually have deep protocols with the execute. For like an example, phase 1 B exec, we have like Paula sitting here with a flash ready in case they smoke us. So now we're countering their counter. And like these are what these phase 1 executes are really good for. You know, you want to have set roles, set protocols, who does what, who clears what. You know, Paula knows that he's clearing boost, yada yada yada, stuff like that. But when it comes to phase 3, you can't track these things accurately. You can't track util accurately. These should be, you know, pieced together, and then you could kind of just trust your players to like fill in the gaps as needed, because hopefully they have experience for this. Have godly mechanics. What's the best way to? Oh, you're talking about spray to flash in the God flash? Yeah, right here. Boom, aim here, jump throw, lands right there, and then you throw this, walk forward, jump throw, lands above CT. You always want to counter different reactions and people dying. So yeah, so that's the thing too, because I agree with that. That you could also have been conditioning something as well. So how I've approached it with the team is that these phase 1 strats that I have set up, like B executes, whatever, A executes, there's a certain amount of flex that we can have to it, where it's not like full 5-man util executes. Like there's a certain amount of flex where like Nico has the ability to come A, throw condition util, brackets util, and then we can actually come back and hit this, where like the execute is loose enough for those for wiggle room of conditioning purposes across the map, and also wiggle room that if something does end up going wrong, someone gets picked, we can still fill it in phase 1. But yeah, in general though, if you're ever gonna do something phase 1, this should try and be as specific as possible. Can't really do that phase thing. Generally, your opera's guy doing the God flash, and you should have different execs. Wait, what's wrong with doing the phase thing? Phase 1, I'm talking about like first 30 seconds, first 45 seconds, if that's your plan for the round. Learn a new role from the ground up, and if so, how do you go about doing it? Always been hyper aggressive entry frag, but thinking about to make me too one-dimensional. Yeah, I've had to relearn CT role on nuke. I went from playing ramp to outside. I just watched a bunch of demos of people doing that. You know better. That's a set strat then. It's a different subject. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying that if you plan on executing phase 1, then it should be a set strat. But what the mistake I was making with the team is that anytime that we should have been doing a set strat, we never had one in stone or set in the strat book to run. So it would just be those like pieced together phase 3 executes you see all the time, where like there's nothing ever set in stone. Like so and so will be like, oh, I guess I'll smoke CT. Oh, I guess I'll do this. But if your plan is to do something early round, you know, make it a set play. I think we agree on this, Spray. If you know what you do, 0-100, it's different. What do you mean by that? You op outside garage or rifle push red box? I don't op outside. I'm just like the outside player. I sometimes push red box. That's just like part of my playbook, my offensive bag. I mean, you don't default. So there are no phases really. It's a fluent motion that the round goes by. I guess that's just, well, I know what you're talking about set plays, but I guess the way I have this set up is that there's enough flex for that to be able to happen. That if for whatever reason we've been conditioning fast brackets util, that Nico has enough flex to actually be able to throw this. And if we haven't, then he doesn't have to throw it and he can actually come back towards B. So it's still a set play with just extra flex and protocols for things across the map. I know what you're saying though, because there are some set plays that there is no default. It just goes straight into the play. Can't flex strats, and you get flex experienced players. I disagree. I'm not gonna lie. You just make it a protocol. It's like, oh, if we've been doing this before, then we can add on to this for this play and then do something else. And then if we haven't been doing this, then we could just go straight into this. Yada yada yada. It's just protocols. I'm just using the word flex as like a synonym for protocols. Quite like rifling, to be honest. Throw a glaze, smoke down, and they have to respect it. Like rifling outside sometimes. You can make protocols, but the thing is people are going to encounter things they don't really know how to react, though. So that's where more protocols come in. And then if there's no way to make a protocol for something like that, then you just have to play off intuition. I don't think we disagree on this. I'm not gonna lie. My whole point of what I'm saying is that anytime, yes, yeah. Semantics just like we're just saying same thing differently, right? You're focusing on it as a team, long-term build or getting the results ASAP. When you're having experienced players, I don't like to give them room for error. So yeah, that makes sense, right? But I've been playing with a long-term team, so we can get into more specific. What's it called? You know, building a pretty deep system with stuff. But yeah, I know what you're saying though. But yeah, I was just talking about the mistake I was making with the team is that we've been playing for so long together that we never officialized any set plays for these executes that get like really into the nitty gritty. Like, oh, you're always entering or you're always doing this. It's just anytime we want to do something phase 1, I'm like, yo, these guys are like passive as fuck or something, and we should just go for a B pop phase 1. We come here for a B pop and it'd be different every time because like so and so's throwing this flash and then it just wouldn't be as efficient versus like having a set in stone B phase 1 B pop. Where like, oh, now we can actually maximize util. We know that Rob's gonna get this combo off, you can get this combo off, I can get this flash off and smoke off, and you can do this because now it's officialized. We can fill in the gaps like all the way around. That's what I was saying. If you ever have a team for long term, and it comes to building a strat book, you should have those phase 1 set strats, like in Inferno. So yeah, exactly. It's different. Inferno is a different map, so this obviously can't be applied to every map. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. I literally said in the beginning, those sprays that everyone should be able to do a piece together execute and know all the combos. But if you're doing something phase 1, why not make it as efficient as possible? Because you can accurately track the util of everyone and, you know, set up an actual efficient strat. Those piece together executes where everyone knows every combo is good for like those phase 3 rounds. But if you're doing phase 1, just might as well make it set in stone who does what. So it's like, it's easier. Just makes things easier. It's like, it's that's what I talked about in the beginning. It's like they're, it's the same. Like, I agree with both. Like, I'm not arguing that every team should only have one execute officialized. I'm saying that your team should be able to execute with whatever util mismatch on any player at any moment, because your players should know all the combos. But you should also have officialized executes for whenever you want to do something phase 1, you know, first 30, 40 seconds around, you want to get it done as soon as possible. Might as well officialize these things because you can accurately track who does what. Every certain player learned this small. Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, having like an officialized execute of like who does what. You know, you have like your standard, you know, for phase 1. That actually makes your phase 3 piece together executes better because now you know what the roles look like of other people. Approaches map differently, but yeah, you can name it phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. The thing is, it's confusing when you're implementing phase 1 executes to a default. Yeah, I think we just approach it differently. You understand? Great stream. I love the stream. Playing on something. Gotta hit this sack. Should be back for next live. Yo, appreciate that, bro. Have a good night, man. And you can't sub yet. I'm waiting till I get a Twitch partner. I'm able to get affiliate, but that shit's a scam, so I'm not getting affiliate. I'm waiting till I'm able to get partner. Then the sub button will be an option. Ow, fuck, dude! I jammed my pinky. I just tried popping it. Yo, bet, dude. I appreciate that, man. I don't know how soon that's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be a minute. Do some stuff with teammates. All right, peace out, Spray. Good luck with you and ATK. Appreciate the little debate we had going. It's not even like a debate, just the conversation. Appreciate that shit. Always good to be questioned, challenged. Regarding the number of voices too, I think. What do you think is optimal amount for that? It depends on like the players you have, because I've always wanted like a 3-man system where it's like you got like 3 talkers. I don't know, I just feel like this would just be so perfect for me as a player, because then I could just always stay with the pack type of thing, and you always have someone towards B who's like pretty talkative, always have someone towards A who's pretty talkative, and you always have someone with the pack who's talkative. That's just like kind of always been my dream. But with the team that we have right now, there's only really 2 big talkers, so we kind of just play off of that with me and Nico being like the callers. I'm the main caller, Nico's the secondary caller, and then just how I have it set up is that we're just always split. CT side, T side, we try and be as far away from each other as possible just because of personality clashes, right? Like if you have like a dominant player, personality wise, like he's like a more dominant, assertive player, you put him next to another dominant, assertive player, they're just going to clash on what they want to do. But if you have a dominant, assertive player with like, you know, just like a soldier type of player, someone who just listens, that's a good combo. You know, you want your leaders and like your soldiers. You want your leader, soldier, like type of, if that makes sense. Like get someone who's dominant, put them with someone who's just good at listening, and get someone who's good at listening, put them next to someone who's dominant. Nothing's wrong with either or player. It's just that you don't want them like together. Like if you have people that are really good at listening, you have like, let's say you have like 3 players on the team who are really good at listening, and you put them all on A site and you put your 2 dominant players on B. There's going to be clashing in theory and what wants to get done on B site, and there's going to be nothing getting done on A site because no one's telling them what to do. See what I'm saying? So it's all about personality, balancing personalities of your team. It's the best player in the team, Sam, mechanics wise. Best aim and shit. I'd say Rob, but I think I'm coming up as I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think I'm about to take that spot. That Kovac's been hitting. That Kovac's been hitting. I think Rob is probably the best mechanics wise. Me and your team, little fist. Shut the fuck, challenge him. Yeah, you're a more dominant type of player, more assertive. It's always good to have both. So that's the thing, is that's why you have those problems where like, I used to think like, oh, if I just had like a team full of 5 IGLs, like we get so much done. And it's actually not just the reverse problem. You won't get anything done because everyone's going to be clashing on what they want to do. And then if you have like a team of 5 listeners, then nothing gets done because no one's saying anything, you know? Nothing wrong with being a listener and a soldier. You need those, and nothing wrong with being assertive and like a leader type of player. You need those as well. Both are good. It's like ice and fire. So 2 listeners together on a site, for example, because neither of them might be comfortable taking initiative. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have 2 listeners together on a site, for example, because neither of them might take initiative. So I like to find it easier to take a backseat with another talkative player. So then maybe you're just not naturally a talkative player if you like taking the backseat. If that's what you like to do, then you might just be a more passive type of listener type of player. But I like to be super assertive when I play. I do it in plugs all the time. It's probably annoying for my teammates because of how much I like call for stuff. But I mean, that's just who I am. It's like so ingrained in me to like, I guess like that leader type of style. I mean, sorry, but I'm winning us the game by doing it. All right, let's see what else I had to talk about. On a team, if you don't play face it that often, you have like level 7 face, and every team is always looking at your face level and they don't want to try you up as a level. Then get on a team that you can join, because that's how you're gonna learn more and actually get to level 10 face it. Doesn't matter who you play against, and if you played good against them, you got to get that experience up. And the way to get that experience up is to get people who are near your experience level and grind with them. So if you're having trouble joining a team, you feel like you're undeserving, maybe you are. I mean, it's honestly the truth. So just join a team, and then you'll find people you can connect with. You might find, you know, some keepers. Keep playing with them. You might find a team full of shitters. Stop playing with them. It's all the process, bro. It's all part of the growing process. Just default based on whether I think the guy I'm playing with is smarter to play than me. For example, on my team, maybe in front of a guy who understands the game well, so I don't take the lead. So you're like a good like flex type of player. You kind of remind me of Rob, because Rob can be really quiet, and then like sometimes Rob can just be like the calm god, dude. Like he's just saying everything. He's like, yo, peek the, like he'll just like take over a game. He can step up when needed. Assertively wise. All right, let me see the other stuff I want to talk about. Another thing I realized too, I was talking about like phase 1 stuff. Another thing I realized too for my T side, and this kind of goes in hand with a problem I talked about before with inconsistency and just learning too many things, and not, you know, fixing your C game and your mistakes, is that our T sides on most maps would there would just be too much defaults, like just too many options to do stuff. So then I would just struggle on to pick what do we start with. And what I realized is that I added so much strats and so much defaults and ways to take map control to the team that we didn't have a way of doing it against any team. Like, you know, a good like standard map strategy that you can apply to any team that you don't have prep work on, right? So like what I ended up doing was like I kept on getting more options of defaults, way to take map control, more options. So like I can be prepared for any type of team that we come across. Like this would be good against this type of team. This would be good against this type of team. And the problem with that is that we become so good at like we just come so good at like knowing more things that we can't pick one and run with it. And so we wouldn't have like a good standard way of approaching the map, and we'd always struggle in like the first 5 or 6 rounds on figuring out like what should we do. And we actually lose out on like a lot of conditioning that you could do in those 6 rounds, and, you know, building up the map strategy. And what I realized is that you need to have a good map strategy that you can apply, that you can play, that covers most teams for every map, or just a default way of approaching the map. You know, if that makes sense, that will just work against most teams. So like an example, I guess the way I figured it out at this level of main is that most CT teams you play against are probably going to be pretty aggressive. Everyone in here is too cocky. So the best way to have like a good standard way of playing that just works at this level, this might change in the future, is to have a standard way of approaching the map of counter aggression. So like always staying in packs. Like just start off I just figured out starting off our T sides in packs against teams that we don't know, we don't have any prep work against. This works out better because if they do decide to aggress, we punch them for it, and they don't actually make out of it. You know, if we're split default and we have like one guy going B off the start, without any conditioning or any knowledge of this team, they might do a fast banana right away. They might do a 3-man heavy banana take, and now this guy's fucked, and we just lost our first gun round. So it's better to like start off your your T sides the safe way, and then you know you can start cutting corners. All right, now we can start split defaulting. They're pretty passive on B. Okay, we don't have to pack up anymore. Okay, now we go for fast banana. They're pretty passive. Let's start taking map control faster. Maybe we can contact car. They don't even play for that shit no more. Let's start skimping on util, play for a phase 3 exec, stuff like that. Then you can start cutting corners and, you know, building up. You know, you adapt over time. And the problem that I had with this team for a long time was just we had too many pre-planned things that we didn't have one thing to run. And we get beat by these teams that just wouldn't practice near as much as us. Like, we would have so many strats that like a team that just had a good basic map strategy and they just didn't add more would beat us because they had that so ingrained and there's so many protocols in their game just because they played the same way forever that they just could beat us. So if you have the problem of like too much, take a step back and, you know, develop a good basic map strategy to run. And then you'll find times when to spice it up with the other strats of like those weird niche things that you added eventually to you know, to really make your gameplay pretty dynamic. Because bro, we're in main and I have a 140 page long strat book. Does that make any sense? And we're losing to teams that don't have a strat book because we're doing too much. That was literally the problem. We were just doing too much. So you got to cut it back, find a good default way of approaching maps with teams that you don't have any prep work on. And then when you get into it and you start doing prep work, then you can change it how you start off the pace of the game. So like if you do prep work on a team and you see that these guys are generally pretty passive, we could be like, oh, okay, we'll start our defaults split because they're probably not going to aggress into us. Let's start off taking map control fast because there's no point in sitting around waiting for aggression if these guys aren't going to aggress because their natural style is already going to counter your set or your basic map strategy. So like the times that you want to like switch up how you play is if you have prior knowledge of the team, prior experience with the team, or if you have prep work against them and you know generally how they play, then you can start skipping stages of your map strategy or just do a whole different map strategy. But you should have a good basic one that you can apply to any team that you don't have any prep work against. I mean, having 5 works for your game and just having your opponent IGLs number the whole game, so you pick the right. That's a choice. Yeah, exactly. That's what would end up happening to me too. Is I wouldn't know what to choose for tier 1. If so, when you think you can hit that level, I say within the next 2 years. I'm not gonna lie. They pugging on me? What do you mean? Just saying for that sort of thing, right? I don't fear the man who practiced 1,000 kicks one. Exactly. That's exactly the quote. That's what I was doing with the team. We had 1,000 different kicks. If this was like boxing, on kickboxing, we had a jab, a right cross, we had overhand, uppercut, right hand, uppercut left, right hook, left hook. We had a spinning wheel kick, a roundhouse, double roundhouse. We had a hook kick. We had Superman. We had just fucking everything. Because I was collecting every strat that I could find. And I just had too much instead of just nailing down one thing. So now we're taking a step back and actually working on a good basic map strategy for all the teams, working on our protocols, making that our one, our jab, because that's what boxing, your jab is the most important punch. Perfecting that one punch. Now these other, niche strats that we have, the 130-page strat book actually becomes extremely useful now because now we have the other combos and now we actually have variety and specialty to our gameplay. It's not just like that one style. So it's a mix of both. If you have the problem of having a really good jab, but you have no other punches, now you need to add more stuff. But our problem was having too much things and we weren't getting our jab really good. Our basic map default, really nailed down protocols, everything. So some more epiphanies with IGL type stuff. What's the utility tier list when you hit B late round? Bro, I'm in a big struggle. How can I go out? Help me, please. What do you mean? When it goes late round, CT smoke most important. Second coffin. First most important Molly, new box, then dark, and first and second oranges. So if it's like list of importance. If you only have like a certain amount of util, CT first, coffin second, new box first, second oranges third, this second. I think talent's a real thing, or hard work is still the main benefactor. It's 100% still the main benefactor. Bro, talent is already 14. Yeah. So talent is basically where you start from. Hard work gets you to where you end up. So some people start a race at the finish line, and that's just life. People are born, go to genetics, great upbringing, but a lot of those people, because they're born 10 feet from the finish line, think they don't have to walk the rest of the way. They're like, I'm already there. I'll get to it eventually. And they don't end up having the drive to end up finishing the race. When you got the guy who's, spawns in 1,000 miles from the finish line, he's like, I want to get there. He's got really good drive. So it's a balance of both. Talent is 100% a real thing, and so is hard work. They go hand in hand. Talent is just your spawn point. My game, nothing is going right for me right now. What do you mean? Are you inconsistent? I just posted a video about inconsistency. You're plateauing. Which I would talk about it, but I don't want to re-explain myself because I got some other things I want to talk about. So then another thing too, talking about map strategies. Another thing too that I realized is that because I'd be so clueless on like, I would know like we would destroy on rounds that I knew how to leverage advantages against, right? So let's say CT side, T side, I can predict their economy. Oh, their rifle low buy. Oh, their eco half buy. Their rifle no op. I know how to manage these rounds really well because I could call something from freeze time that would know how to counter these teams and what they're likely to run. But I would actually end up struggling really hard against full buy versus full buy because I didn't know what the fuck to do. I didn't know what to do. Like, what is the goal of this? And what I realized recently is that these rounds, these full buy versus full buys, these are the rounds that there's nothing to leverage. There is nothing, you can't leverage your util against them. You can't leverage your guns against them because they're equal, right? They're essentially equal to you. They have full util, full guns, ops, you have op, etc. So on these buy rounds, full buy versus full buy, your job is to actually start conditioning something to eventually cash out on. Because what I was doing with this team is that we had so many different punches, kicks, like I said before, is that I would just throw a different one, you know, randomly. Okay, well, we'll ass pop this round. Okay, we'll B pop now. Okay, and there's no method to the madness. It was just like, let's just do a bunch of random shit, which can work against someone who doesn't understand how to counter that. But it's just like boxing. Like if you throw a bunch of different punches and you never throw the same punch over and over, that shit you can see coming. Like there's no fakes. Like you didn't fake, you didn't, you know. It's boxing. You can see an overhand cut right coming. You can see a right hook coming. If there's no jab, there's no lead up to it. So what I realized for these full buy versus full buy rounds, your job during these rounds isn't to just win that round. Your job is to condition something in that round, make them respect you for whatever it is, create an if then. I'll talk about this in a second. Create an if then that eventually will win you rounds in the future. Because and then do that and win the round. That's your job in your full buy rounds. Your job isn't just to win the round. Your job is to condition something for the future and win that round. And what was I gonna say? So that's so that's why sometimes you'll see these pro teams and you're like, just do this, like you'll win. And there's a good chance they're not doing something because they're setting themselves up for the future. There's conditioning and there's cashing out of your conditioning where you did something over and over and over. That eventually you can cash out of it because now you know how the opponent is going to react to it because you made them react to it over and over and over. They have to respect it at a certain point. So the reason why this works is because us doing random shit works against opponents that have weak defenses. They just don't know how to counter it, you know. So that works really well. But at a certain level, when you start progressing the ranks, no one has a weak defense. Everyone's starting protocols are like so good that you can't do random shit and think it's going to work because everyone knows how to counter that stuff. So the whole point of conditioning and cashing out is to create a weakness in their defense, right? If you just like, okay, rush B, rush A, pop B, pop apps, pop A, pop this, and you're doing random stuff, you never condition anything. They probably already have set protocols for their standard spots to counter all these things. And so you're just getting fucked up. Like they see it coming, you know? But let's say if you spend 6 rounds taking arch control and ramping B, taking arch and ramping B. And then, you lose like 5 of those. Now the 7th round, you throw the arch util, you throw this. Now you condition the CT to respect this. He's probably going to be like, oh, they're just going to do the same thing and ramp B. And then you hit A. See, you just created a weakness by conditioning something. So you actually spend rounds, and sometimes you spend them losing it, and it's still like not a complete loss because you spent that round conditioning something to eventually cash out in the future. That's the whole point of your buy rounds. Is not just to win the round, it's to condition something for the future and win the round. And so sometimes a buy round can go bad, you lose the round, but you set yourself up for the future. And then you just dominate the rest of the game because you condition something and then you can play off of that, play off the reaction, play off that reaction, yada, yada, yada. And then you just control the game. So does that make sense? Some stuff I realized. Can't understand what's wrong with my game. Nothing is going right from here now. You still never clarified. What's going wrong with your game? I could possibly help. Well, that's the thing. Taking a break is really generic advice. If burnout's the problem, taking a break isn't going to fix burnout. So if you could actually say your problems, Zuckstock, I could probably help you, dog. Let me see. I'm looking through my notes right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was advanced just as actually you need to find what the problem even is. Yeah, there's no problem. You're just molding. Yeah, maybe the problem is molding. So you say that maybe there is no problem. You're just molding. Molding can't be the problem. Tilting is a problem, and tilting should be analyzed the same way you'd analyze mistakes in game, because tilt is not a permanent thing. You can fix tilt. That's some stuff I've learned from so far from the mental game of poker, which I could talk about in a second. But I was gonna say something. What the fuck was I gonna say? Hold on. Oh yeah, something I realized today too, just when it comes to like reaggressing CT side, because you'll see those teams are like they'll just play full on passive, they never like peek anything, never push anything. One thing I realized for reaggression is that like you should low key, a good rule of thumb is if you have the info that the T's are split default, you should try and reaggress because they're split up. You're not gonna go into a pack. You're probably gonna find like 2 people car. So like, you know, say they say your teammates in abs hear 2 footsteps in abs, there's a smoke arches, and then you hear someone flash in a car, and there's 2 you guys beat. Now's a good time to reaggress car because there's probably only gonna be 1 or 2 people here. So if you realize that the T's are in a split default, that's the time you want to reaggress. If you realize that the T's are group and they're packed up, they're kill ball, that's the time you're gonna actually not want to reaggress because you're gonna reaggress into a pack. They're gonna kill you and then they just explode off the pick. When you find out they're in a pack, then you actually want to play to delay, and then reaggress on the other side of the map. So if you know that the teams are split default altogether, then try and like reaggress into them. Like on any side, just get aggressive and try and find a kill because they're split. That's what seems to work so far. And if you know they're in a pack, then the area by the pack should play to delay and let the other side of the map reaggress. Like you should always be reaggressing CT side for the most part, unless you have a specific plan to play for like a retake and saving util for phase 3. But most of the times you should be trying to reaggress, and it's usually based on numbers. And so you can apply the same thing for like, you know, freeze time calls. If you're playing against a team that's always split default, then those stacked freeze time, you know, set plays of like 4B work really well because there's only gonna be 2 people here. If you're playing against a team that's always packed defaulting, then those iffy type of takes where, you know, you come spot it out. If the pack is there, you just leave. If the pack isn't there, then you just take its free map control. This could be applied to the mid round as well. I think I've talked about this in a video before, but the same concept of like playing around the numbers of the T's can also be applied. If they're packed up, delay them. Don't push into a pack. That's just dumb. If they're not packed up, if you know they're split, now's a decent time to reaggress. If you have the util for it, or the, you know, the advantage for it. No, numbers, guns, util, whatever it is, information. And I realized this today because I was always like, okay, why do people reaggress car, right? Info is one thing, you know, getting info. But I see a lot of people just reaggressing car as soon as someone gets up in car. Like as soon as they hear like the T's molly sandbags, they're like, oh, the T's are up car, let's reaggress because this is a free kill. You know, if they flash, they're gonna be blind. This is a free kill. But the thing is, this isn't always a free kill. At the higher level, you know, people have protocols for this. So if you go into a pack, they're gonna have like 2-3 people playing any flash, and you're just gonna get fucked up. So a good time, we'll use car as an example, to know, oh, now's a good time to reaggress car, is if you're hearing shit going on over at A, and you hear shit going on at car, okay, let's retake car control. But if you just hear shit car, and you don't hear anything A, don't fucking reaggress. Like, there's gonna be a pack there. Your teammate's gonna get killed, and they're just going to explode and take the side off of that. So when it comes from mid-round regression, you could apply that same concept of playing off the numbers of the T's default, how they're set up currently, pack or split, and then go off of that. And then also leveraging your advantages, if you util, gun advantage, man advantage, etc. That goes into consideration as well. This isn't a hard and fast rule. Obviously, there's exceptions to all this stuff, little tweaks you can make, but yeah, something I realized. Shut the fuck up, Sean. Let me see. Deathmatch for hours, work on your mechanics to recognize, understand why you're losing your duels. No, I don't think deathmatching for hours is that good either. I think over deathmatching is actually, yeah, it's counterproductive. Yeah, where's deathmatch too much? No, I disagree, Trilly. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Actually, we've had this conversation before. I'm not gonna go into this again. Yeah, don't even argue with them, Fisk. That I've had the whole video of aim trainers are bullshit, where I talk about aim training versus deathmatch and all stuff. It literally came from the argument with Trilly. I'm not gonna go through this again, bro. We're not going through this shit again. You can think what you want to think, but I will always disagree at a point. They don't need to use aim trainers for them to be justifiable. Bro, I'm actually about to ban you if you can bring this argument back up again, because I've explained myself. I've cornered you with arguments on this topic, and you've yet to have a good response that it's not even worth arguing again. Like you just used another logical fallacy of because someone does something or doesn't do something, because a pro doesn't do something, then that makes it right or wrong. Like, because Arnold did 50 sets of lat raises, that means I should do 50 sets of lat raises. No, science changes, meta changes. We realize that hypertrophy doesn't come from 50 sets of lat raises. Like, people change. Just because the best, the goats of the past did it before, doesn't mean that you should always follow their footsteps. That's why they aren't the goats anymore. And that's why Simple won't be the goat for long if he doesn't adapt to the new meta of aim trainers. I'm gonna be for real. Like, he's probably got really good aim from that, but like, this is why new players get better than older players, and the generation, and that continues. That's why Forrest and Get Right and all them couldn't keep up, because shit changed and they couldn't, adapt to the new times. There aren't real human targets. This is Counter-Strike. And this has been disproven. Like, okay, I'm not. Go watch West Proter. He'll explain all this for you. Okay, I'm done. But if you keep on talking about this, I'm actually gonna ban you, because I get so annoyed. Okay, let me go on the next topic. Yeah, it's the efficiency of DM is not as good as aim trainers. Plus, aim training all the time, any type of mechanic work all the time, learning motor skills just isn't efficient. That's not how motor skill learning happens. It happens through mistakes and progressive overload and recovery from the task of motor learning. So like, the act of DMing all day is scientifically not efficient. The reps per minute is not good. If you're doing it for hours a day, you're not recovering from it. You're not letting your brain adapt. You're not letting your brain go through neuroplasticity, which is how you get better aim. You don't get better aim by doing it over and over. It's not a muscle. You don't burn your aim into your arm. It's not like you do 500 reps that you get it down. It's from making mistakes that your brain adapts to it. It's not a workout. This is fucking Counter-Strike. It's a motor skill. They should be treated differently. You don't have to name a tier 1. I don't know. Because I don't watch tier 1 players for their aim. That's the whole thing, is that I'm not arguing if it's useful. I'm arguing that it's inefficient. DM is more useful for Kovacs for other circumstances, like movement and combination of mechanics and in-game mechanics that you don't get from Kovacs. No one's arguing, bro. Okay. This is actually, I swear to God, this is the last straw. You're getting banned. Like, I'm not joking. We've gone through this shit already, bro. We've actually gone through this shit already. I actually get so annoyed with this dude. This is actually Goofy Steve from the Discord, man. We know you're Goofy Steve, bro. I think there's a bit of a bias with tier 1 player if your aim is never a problem, because you're not gonna feel the need to install an aim. Yeah, that's the other reason too, is that it's like I said in that video before, is that like, you can get good aim by playing, right? It's like bench, deadlift, and squat. Like, they're good foundational exercises to build a good physique. But if your goal is hypertrophy and being as big as possible, like muscle growth, then you should be adding isolations in there, which Kovacs is your isolations. Like, work on the niche things, like your bottlenecks and stuff. And I've already explained this like several times to you, and I don't think you still understand it. So. Yeah, what Vu said, Sean? What Vu said, Sean? AKA can definitely be learned and improved on. What? Yes. That's literally what I've been saying. Like, now you're agreeing with me. Not to use aim trainers at all into deathmatch, because I find deathmatch fun and Kovacs boring as fuck. No science involved. I mean, if your argument is that Kovacs is boring, I think you're being sarcastic, Fist. But surely, if that's your argument, that's a completely fine argument. Kovacs is pretty boring, but there's uses for Kovacs that deathmatch can't give you, and there's uses for deathmatch that Kovacs can't give you. But in the terms of raw, point and click aim without movement, it's efficient. It's inefficient to DM versus Kovacs. So if you want a deathmatch because it's fun, no one's arguing that's not fun. I'm arguing that's inefficient. And you still have yet to combat that argument. Okay, I'm moving on. Because I'm just gonna, if you say anything about aim again, I'm just gonna send you the video where I've already argued about this with you. And you can just watch that back, man. When they made the CS, most of the functionalities that aim trainers improve is very limited to actual application CS. So that day, that was crosshair placement. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a good portion of the aim, but if you want to improve the aim itself, you need a Kovacs. Makes me more efficient. Crosshair placement. But no one's arguing about crosshair placement. I'm talking about improving aim. Improving aim. If that's your goal, is to improve your aim, it's inefficient to do anything but Kovacs for the raw actual aim. I mean, not anything but Kovacs. I'm talking about DM specifically, because reps per minute, there's no progressive overload. You're getting the same size targets. There's actually variance in DMing because of spray patterns and the variance within the spray, the RNG of that. So you're not getting actual accurate results of it if you should have hit the target or not. And yeah, the progressive overload. You can't work on bottlenecks in DM as easily as you can in Kovacs, and at the reps per minute as you can in Kovacs. No, the actual Steam app. But yeah, you can do it in like certain workshop maps that have pretty customizable aim trainers, but I still think Kovacs is goated because the routines that people make for it. DM is awesome for crosshair placement. Yes, it is. No one argued against that. I'm talking about raw aim. Mouse point click aim, bro. Percent agree, becoming efficient aim trainers, but at a certain level of reps against real players will be the go-to. No, because that's not how motor learning works. Do you have a video on Kovacs routines? Yeah, look up West Proter and his routine. For sure, if your goal is to improve raw aim, but I think too many people have the misconception that their poor CS aim is going to be improved from Kovacs. We're on things like movement and crosshair placement. Okay, so now you're arguing which is going to see the most impact, and I would argue that's actually based on personal flaws. So you should do, self-analysis of what your pitfalls, your weaknesses are in your aim, your bottlenecks, and then focus on that. So if your bottleneck is crosshair placement, work on crosshair placement. But sometimes, like me, I had really good crosshair placement but bad aim. So I'm not arguing against that. This is just a different, this is a different page. We're just on different pages, Magic. I see what you're saying though. Your argument is that most of the time, and I'd agree with you, a majority of players would probably improve more just by fixing their crosshair placement than working on their aim. But I'm arguing about fixing, if you want to improve your aim, the most efficient way to do it is by Kovacs. Me, I find my point click is pretty much perfect within reason for a 2K elo British bot. My cannon shortcoming is literally everything else. So yeah, then you wouldn't want to focus more on your bottlenecks, which is in-game mechanics. Crossfire, best aim trainer. Crossfire is that Chinese Sia. No, it's Refrag. Crossfire is decent. I don't think it's a good aim trainer though, for bottlenecks and stuff. Talking about the game. I think the exact opposite is true. When you're a beginner, you need to work on your mechanics package. Point click aim is almost never your bottleneck as a new player. Yeah, so yeah, it's like everything. So that's why DM would actually be a lot better for newer players, like Vu said, because it's a good compound. It gets everything. Sean. But yeah, well, that's okay. So we go back to the bodybuilder analogy. Once you get that physique, you're like 200 pounds. You got a decently built physique. Now you need to work on your bottlenecks. Like, oh, my traps are lacking. I need to do more shrugs. I need to do more of this. And that's what aim trainers are good for. That's what Kovacs is good for. Oh, my micro adjusting is bad. Let me work on my micro adjusting. Oh, my tracking is bad. Let me work on my tracking. You can't focus these things in a DM like you could an aim trainer. Like form, not reps. Do you think using Refrag to train aim is inefficient as well? I think it's more efficient than DM in terms of reps. My experience being 1T by Gold Novas with terrible movement across our plans, but I'm clicking rational civil. Are you gonna stream too? Shut the fuck up, Sean. I think I'm referring to completely new players in which they can real players. Yo, thanks for following World of Warcraft. Yo, I think did I hit 1K followers? Hold on a second. I think I might have. Where do I see that at? Yo, thanks for the follow, Krusty. Yo, how do I see if I hit? Shut up. Oh shit! I hit 1K. It's crazy. Wow, it says 1K right here. That's crazy. Yo, thanks for following, Runon. Thanks, Josh. Sean, shut the fuck up, man. Josh, shouldn't you be at work? Oh wait. Oh yeah, it's Sunday. Never mind. Alright, let me see what else I have. Oh my god. Depends on your definition of clean new players. If you never held a mouse and keyboard before, yeah, they probably want to make. But in my experience, most people these days get into CSGO, Apex Legend. Yeah, I mean the mechanics are still different. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to argue like what's gonna produce the most results, my argument for that is whatever your bottleneck is. So if your bottleneck is stuff within aiming, mouse, point, click, if it's anything along those lines, Kovacs is the solution. If your bottleneck is crosshair placement, in-game knowledge, in-game mechanics as in counter strafing, stuff like that, then yes, DM, maps and stuff like that is going to be more efficient because that is your bottleneck. So I still think I don't know. I don't think anyone is. I still think I have the right stance on this. I appreciate the thought challenges though, but thoughts on Lion Kings? When do you review the demo from? But we're supposed to review it afterwards, but they added that stupid ass advanced statistics. It took an hour for the demo to finally get uploaded and everyone's too tired, so we're gonna watch it back tomorrow with the comms. I don't know if my bottleneck is point click or something in game. Watch your own VODs back. If you watch your own game back or just feeling, like you can just feel if something's bad. Like for me, I realized that a big bottleneck of mine was my micro adjust. Like this has been, I've gotten as far as I did in CS up until like the last 2 months with like, without micro adjusting. I'm not gonna lie. I like, for some reason in my head, I just thought like, oh, when you aim, it's just like flick and shoot. Because I'd see people and it looked like they're flicking and shooting, but they'd actually micro adjust. There's like a second step. And I didn't realize this till recently, but I just wouldn't micro adjust. So like, I'd either hit like a crazy ass shot where like boom, I just flick and kill someone in the head, or I would just miss and then have to spray and adjust, and you know it'd be bad. But you know, proper aim mechanics, flick, micro adjust, and then shoot. And I've been doing that recently, and you know it's helped me like crazy with my aim. So like just recognize what your mechanics are, and then you have to like do some research in like what are good mechanics so you can see what you're failing at. So watching VODs of like Kovacs routines, that's what I started doing recently, of like people doing scenarios. Like they're doing like one wall, 8 targets, and I just watch how they aim. I'm like, oh, I don't do that when I aim. I don't flick straight to the target. I flick around it or yada yada yada. Find out what your bottleneck is, what you're failing at, and then just focus on that. In the ancient game you coached recently, I was the other team's IGO. We were big depression at the first heavy though. One. Just aim straight lines. Do I think the F4A1S needs to change? I don't know. I don't really have a comment on meta stuff. I just abuse whatever's in the meta. Says he kind of had the same problem solved by making my sensitivity so hilariously low. Micro just became normal adjustments. See, that's the thing, is that's why I had my sensitivity so low, so like my arm would be good at flicking. So that's what happens. That my arm just became really, like my flicks are like really good. I have like really fast flicks and like decently accurate, but like I wouldn't micro adjust. So that's what I've been like trying to focus on, is like flick and then adjust, flick and then adjust, you know. So that's my bottleneck. But yeah, everyone's bottleneck is different. Sometimes people's bottlenecks could be precision. So micro adjusting precision wise, it could be multiple targets. It could be strafing targets. It could be acquisition, flicking and then tracking. It could be tracking itself. It's a lot of things. So look into West Proter. No, I couldn't afford my flights to the major. Give skins then? I'm good at game. What the fuck kind of... One round I told you guys would probably rush me. They didn't have their detail. It sounds like condolences for takeoffs. Yeah, man, that shit hit hard. I'm not gonna lie. I miss my brother. How do you fix slow flicking? Flick faster. Flick faster and mess up. That's the other thing I did wrong for like most of my career with CS. And improving at literally anything was trying to never make a mistake and like do it perfectly, right? So I'd be in aimbots and I'd like can't miss a shot, can't miss a shot. So then I'd be too slow to actually push speed. What happens with the brain and neuroplasticity is that you actually learn by mistakes. So what you want to do is you want to, you know, get to like 100% accurate, find a good speed that you're getting like 100% accurate, and then push it. Push it a little bit. Now you're missing a little bit, and push it a little bit more. That you're missing like you're hitting like 60 to 80% of your shots, but you're missing a lot. And those misses is actually what makes you improve. Same with like playing in game, like messing up in game and messing up a smoke is how you learn the smoke in stone. That's just how your brain works. So if your problem is not flicking fast enough, it's probably because you never actually tried to flick fast enough. Just start flicking faster at a decent speed that you're not completely, you know, you're going 8 mode, you're missing everything, but like, you're still making some. Like flick faster and then let yourself miss, and that's how your brain will adapt. Yeah, okay. Named Alex. Dude, you say you write these things out and it just makes it look so weird. Talking about my GED. I don't even have a GED, man. I hate that I have to clarify that. Because there's people in here who probably think I have a GED if I was like, quit talking about my GED. Made me look so dumb. Like you say something that like assumes like, oh my god. It looks so dumb, man. Alright, hold on. I think that's something else to talk about. Alright, that's gonna be the last thing I talk about. But I realized something too. About IGLing. Is that like the IGL kinda you gotta be like Cadian, man. Like the IGL low-key has to be like the emotional leader of the team. Because I used to think like, oh, you can have your IGL who's just like, you know, the strat guy, and then you have like the emotional leader on the side. Like you can have like, you know, someone who's a bit more emotional. It like helps lead the team. Kind of like old Cloud9 with like Sean Garris and Freakazoid. I remember like they just talked about something along those lines. That's probably not a good like one-to-one comparison, but Freakazoid was really good at like, you know, keeping everyone in check emotionally, and Sean was really good with the strats. What I realized though is that like you kind of have to be both as the IGL. Like you got to make it your duty to try and master both sides, because the way your mind works is that if emotions get too high, you know, it affects cognition. If you pass a certain emotional level threshold, if you get too emotional in a certain aspect, and the IGL role arguably takes the most cognition to play. So like you need to master the mental game more than anyone else because your game depends the most on it, right? You need to be thinking more. Whereas like, you know, you have like a rifler, they honestly don't even need to think about many things. A lot of stuff is already ingrained and it's just like you peek and kill. But like as an IGL, like the way you like learn things, like, you know, you go like unconscious competence, unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, then unconscious competence, where you don't have to think about anything, where you just do it the right way. The problem with the IGL role is that like there's too many scenarios that can happen, too many like variables and like combinations of scenarios that can happen, that you can never have everything down at an unconscious level. Like you always need to have your cognition available. Like you can never get too emotional that you can't think, because this game is just too complicated. There's too many variables that can happen, and you can just get like a different outcome that like, you know, having stuff that you have down unconsciously isn't actually the right answer, that you need to actually consciously cognitively override the thing that you're about to do. So like, let's say you have a protocol for like whatever happened here. You can't just like always, you know, just go to your first instinct. Like you should be doing that most of the time, but you still need to have that cognition, because it's just, you got to be thinking all the time. You know, you got there's different variables, stuff can come up. And then also as the IGL, if you're the emotional leader, like I said, you need to have your emotions in control because it affects your cognition. And the IGL role requires the most cognition out of any role in the game. And on top of it too, because you're making the calls and stuff, if your teammates sense like you're a little unconfident, like they pick up on that stuff, and you're like as the IGL, you're the most emotionally influential person on your team. Like people pick up on your emotions way more than they pick up on all your other teammates' emotions. You know? So that's what I realized. It's just like, if you feel like, because I used to think like, oh, I'm like really smart, but I tilt, like that's just that, whatever, that's just a thing. Like I'll just find someone who's like really good at making me not tilt. Like that's part of like building a good team is like recognizing your weaknesses, but you should also work on it. Like tilting and a lack of a good mental game isn't something you should like rely on your teammates to fix. That's something you should focus on too. So like the IGL should really, I mean, everyone should master both the mental game and the actual game, but the IGL needs to master it the most because he needs to be, the most cognition. So some stuff I realized. Get the Mokos. I do have the Mokos right now. I got Mokos, Sean. Still beat my shit or what? Yeah, unfortunately. I'm trying not to, man. Relapsing. What did I just say? Oh, it's Tomavu. Shut up, AJ. Oh shit! I would talk about this other stuff, but damn, it's getting like kind of late. I'm not gonna lie. It's getting kind of late. Oh, I'll set a reminder to talk about it later. Listen, Austin, let me become coach. Let me take some. Oh, you coach for Austin's team? Oh, thanks, not Star. That's what I was actually gonna talk about, was something along the lines of mental game stuff, because I get like all this stuff from like books I read, and I've been reading like the mental game of poker. It's about tilt, but oh man, fuck, I guess I could talk about it. Have you ever considered casting or being like an expert in an event? Yeah, but I want to play. I thought about coaching and shit like that. I've got offers to coach for like decent teams, analysts for decent teams, but I want to play, dude. And I just know I could play at a high level. I'm not gonna sell myself short. I feel like a lot of people end up becoming analysts. And no hate to them, they could be different reasons. I know the reason I was about to be an analyst or a coach was because I just wasn't confident in my in-game skills. And so instead of accepting that and just being like, yeah, I'm not good, I was like, I need to work on that. Like I just thought I was like behind because it's like, oh, everyone else doesn't have to worry about in-game skills. They're already good at that. But it's just they have a different puzzle to solve to go pro. The puzzle I already have parts of the puzzle solved, which is like the, cognition part. But the puzzle I didn't have solved was mechanics, in-game, level skill. So it's like I just need to work on that. Other people need to work on that, but they need to work on what I already have down. It's just like, everyone's got their problems, everyone's got their weaknesses. Just work on yours, which is more. It's fun, but there's nothing more frustrating than watching the players fuck up in the dumbest ways. Yeah, I think that's the other thing too, is because like, I just know like I would probably get really mad at that. Like I'd be like, I would not do that in game. Like, why the fuck are you doing that? I feel like I'd be able to play better than a lot of people I would coach, at least cognitively. Well, in the past, that's what I was thinking. Now I just know I could play really well. I don't plan on coaching at all. I want to play. I'm dead set on that. So. Yeah, that's something I just realized. I think you're asking about coaching or casting and stuff. Because I was too scared that I wasn't gonna make it. Like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Might as well take what I can because at least I'm smart at the game. But I don't like thinking that way. You gotta don't accept your weaknesses. Or accept your weaknesses so you can work on them. Because if you don't accept it, then you're just gonna ignore them and never work on it. So the problem isn't accepting it and just neglecting it. The problem is I just wasn't accepting it to work on it. I would just ignore the fact that I'm bad at, aiming. So that's why I've been so focused on improving my aim. And that's why y'all about to see me pop off. About to see me pop off tier 1. Give me 2 years, bro. Give me 2 years. I'm being so serious. On level 7, 1.4k hours started in 2020. Is that good? It doesn't matter what's good. What are your goals? You want to have a growth mindset, bro. Stop trying to. Maybe I'm just projecting stuff right now, but like, I used to always be like, oh, is this good? Like compared to like other people, is this good compared to other people? But the thing is, like, when you think that way, what you're trying to do is you're trying to prove your level of skill versus just growing your level of skill. Like, who cares if it's good or not? Who cares if someone else thinks that's good? Who cares if you're level 10 by 2.2k hours? Who cares if that's good? No, I'm being so serious. Like, that doesn't help you at all. Who cares if someone else thinks that's good? Just focus on growing. Growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Like what happens is people try and prove what level of skill that they're at, that they actually neglect it, the level of skill that they actually are at, and they ignore weaknesses and they don't improve. So just accept it wherever you are. Stop trying to prove yourself and just learn. Just learn. You know? If that makes sense. Like who cares if you get to level 10 in 1,000 hours? Because if your whole job was to prove that you're good, now you're done. Now you're not gonna get farther than that. Because you had a fixed mindset. You're trying to prove, oh, I am this good. Look it, I'm level 10 1,000 hours. Okay, now what? Is that your goal? If that's your goal, cool. I mean, but if your goal is something beyond that, going pro, then who gives a fuck? Keep going. You know, like, doesn't matter what's good, just keep growing. And like looking for that validation doesn't get you anywhere. And you gotta look into why you need that validation. Because it's there, it's coping for something. Insecurity, whatever it is. Because I know that's what I would do. I'd be like, oh, compared to the rest of the population, I'm this much elo at this much hours. And that was just because I felt like I was bad at aiming. And I needed to like compare myself to others to like disprove that bad feeling instead of accepting it, fixing it. The screenshot is still the same as you were before. Yeah, exactly. It's still a long ass road. Start shaking ass, I'm losing viewers. Not shaking ass, man. You should have saw Ambi shake ass earlier, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not talking about this today. I'll talk about this tomorrow. You're pretty good. So what's your goal? Why are you asking if it's good then, if you think you're good? If you thought you're good, why are you asking if you're good? Young talent? Why are you so obsessed with the title, young talent? Well, like, why did you just ask if that was good? If you just told me you're good right now. Think about that. Like, seriously think about why you would ask that. Let's face it, ranks compared to MM. I don't know the exact comparisons, but I know face level 10 is like way better than global. Shut the fuck up, Sean. No, you don't have to prove anything, Trilly. I'm asking you, why did you ask that? You don't have to prove anything. This is just like a little mental game exercise. Why did you ask if that was good? It's an honest question. Stuff you should be asking yourself. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, when you just, you know, I don't know, comparison. Yeah, so exactly. What do you think ego is for? No, it's not a goofball question. There's a reason you asked it. What do you think? What do you think ego is? Comparisons with other people, right? What do you think that's for? Why do you think the mind does that? I should just be in a KZ server right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just jumping around doing nothing. Yeah, I encourage him. He thinks he has something trying to days ago. To boost confidence, like I'm better than you. What if I told you that's not confidence at all? What do you think confidence is? Confidence is not being better than someone else. Confidence is knowing your level of skill. It has nothing to do with anything outside yourself. Anytime that the way you feel good depends on something outside of yourself, that's not confidence. That's ego. And ego becomes a thing as a way for the mind to protect itself. So most of the time people have ego out of insecurities because they feel bad about whatever they are in life, whatever it is. I know I had a big ego in Counter-Strike because I felt bad about how bad I was at aiming. So I'd be like, oh, I'm smarter than all these people, yada, yada, yada. And I had like some weird smart man ego, and it was bullshit. It holds you behind. Ego is not a good thing. I don't know why people always talk about you need a little bit of ego to go pro. You don't. You low-key need as little as possible because it just fucks you up. Ego is not a good thing. Ego is a way, is the mind trying to protect itself. Actually, no, okay. Ego is not entirely bad. There's obviously times that it can be useful, but in general, it's not good. Say Sanders the best player. I play against FPL players and pros already. Perform good. My mechanics are nice, but I feel like game sense and position I need help with. Uh huh. So yeah, work on that. But like, you see my point? Like, like asking, "Oh, am I good at this hours?" Like that doesn't help you with those things. You see, now that you can get ego away and stop trying to figure out like stop trying to prove yourself. Now you can actually focus on what you need to work on. If your goal is to be a young talent pro or just to be a pro in general, don't be obsessed with the title of young talent. Just be obsessed with learning. Don't be obsessed with your rank and your elo. Be obsessed with improving, because that shit doesn't matter. Mr. Mechanical goofball. Yeah, IQ at level 10s. So yeah, what's your point? What's your point in saying that? See, I have amazing mechanics and play with me. So yeah, why are you saying this? The next guy. The application of ego separates good from the greatest. In what ways? What ways do you say think that? Fuck. I don't want to be arrogant little brat kid. I don't know, because I have experience. Well, what does me having experience do for you by you telling me that? That's all. I'm curious, like, why you're asking these things. And mid Friday at 2K. And when you're learning, you should be egoless, but when it comes to time to prove yourself, it is useful. Yeah, to an extent, yeah. Ego can be very useful, but it also can like backfire on you. Because if you get your sense of confidence from others, it's not consistent. It can vary. Supposed to have a mindset that I'm garbage to keep improving. No one's saying that. Why is it one or the other? That you have to be better than other people, or you're garbage? Why can't you just be you without a comparison? That's the point I'm trying to get. You should be you without comparison. Comparisons fuck you up. Comparisons with your identity or sense of worth attached to it fuck you up. But comparing yourself in order to improve, like, okay, oh, this guy does this guy does that, etc. Those can be beneficial. But if you're like comparing yourself to like see where you stand, like that shit can fuck you up, man. Just be yourself. Your go-to McDonald's orders. Who doesn't want the MVP? No, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, this shit would be really nice. But the act of chasing the MVP can be pretty detrimental to your mental health and your performance as a player. People are gonna argue it's like, yeah, but then it makes you want to grind more, and it's like, yeah, you know, having an ego, you know, using comparisons to want to improve yourself is actually a very powerful motivating fuel, but it affects you mentally. Because if your sense of self-worth is tied into how you perform, what level you are, what elo you are, your sense of self-worth is tied into that, yeah, you're going to want to grind really hard because you want not to feel shit about yourself, right? Because you're comparing yourself to other people. But you still feel shit about yourself when that doesn't happen. So you don't have a consistent level of confidence in your own self, and it becomes reliant on other people. It's not your own. That's why it's detrimental to your mental health, and not having an ego is actually more beneficial. Just be egoless. Be yourself and improve. That's all. Don't compare your ranks. That's all ego. This is getting emotional. Getting a little emotional, right? You have to beat someone to not feel bad, then you're probably still gonna feel bad shortly after. Exactly. Exactly. And you wanna know how you know that this shit doesn't work? Because you're already faced at level 7. Why don't you feel good about yourself? Why don't you feel good about you're not faced at 6? You're better than everyone else. So this is why it goes to show you that being better than someone at something doesn't actually solve those problems, because you're already better than people at a lot of things. You're already better than the majority of the population, right? On average, people don't get to face at level 7, but that doesn't make you happy. So why do you think getting ahead of more people is going to make you more happy? If you're already better than 80% of the population, why do you think being better than 85 is going to make you more happy? I mean, see, like, this is something I've struggled with in the past, but think about it. Why do you think that's going to make you more happy? It's not. You've already, you know? Yeah, being the best you can be should be your goal. It should have no comparisons with other people. Just be yourself, compare yourself to yourself, and improve that way. Talk about an ego being good to prove yourself. They make mistake confidence and ego. Exactly. Exactly, yeah. People think that ego and confidence are the same thing. They're not the same thing. Confidence is you comparing yourself to yourself. Ego is when comparisons with others come into play, or anything outside of yourself, you know, external stuff where it's like, oh, I have a car, I have money, stuff like that. That's ego. Confidence is just, you know, being secure in who you are without anything outside yourself. Just knowing, like, I can be dropped in the middle of an island with nobody there, like nothing, and I still love myself, you know, like that's confidence. You don't need things outside yourself in order to love yourself or feel secure about yourself. Like good from great. Who can hold it long? So what in the future? The fuck kind of question? Sam asked me if you want a KZ. What server is this? How do I get? I don't know. I don't know how to see the IP. I don't know. I'm about to get off anyways. I'm about to call it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's status. Right here. 60, right there. Wait, hold on, let me read chat. It's true, I thought having more than Elo and someone mean I'm a better player, but Elo doesn't mean shit. It doesn't, because you already have more than someone else. Usually being the 99% of anything, you're still probably considered bad at it. So having high Elo is good because you can find teams either. So yeah, there is benefits to that, but not in the terms of feeling secure in yourself. No, don't leave, Sam. It, bro, I am not analyzing that match. That is gonna take forever, bro. It's already 12:47. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel like these streams are way more enjoyable than me just fucking reading through those demo notes. I'd rather talk to chat like this. I feel like this shit's way better. Let's do the gun rounds. Easy 20 minutes. Bro, it's already 12:48. I gotta eat still. I haven't eaten all day. I'll try and stream tomorrow after the match, if possible. Because our matches are earlier, scheduled at 8:30. Goal is to get top 5 in my country so I can get noticed by top players so I can play with them. So yeah, there is benefits to other people in terms of that. So fuck that, go now. Come watch it with you. We can be watch the match. Dude, it's already 12. I can't, man. I can't. Yeah, the stream is popping. I'm not gonna lie. It's already 12:48. Stream's popping. We got 23 viewers concurrently with YouTube and all that stuff. Chat's popping too. Not decent at something until they're beyond the 99th percentile. I just okay, I think that kind of goes back to where I was just saying. It's like, who cares if you're considered decent or not? Like, that doesn't matter. Said bitch made. Oh my god. No daddy, no daddy. You get enough to make serious attempt at getting a streaming gig going. There's no skill set for that. It's just definitely a higher skill. Start streaming right now. You're not going to get to a point where you're going to eventually feel confident. Start right now. That's what I did. Oh, you do? Okay. They'll stay up all day, 24/7 rat sleep schedules. No, they don't. It's bad for your brain. Okay. Just have 2 viewers. So that's the thing with streaming. That's the thing with streaming, man. It's like, if you want to be a successful streamer, this is just from what I hear, you have to like give the audience something, okay? So if you're like a really talented player, you can probably get away with streaming and not saying shit to your chat because you're giving them like something to watch because you're so talented. Like it's entertaining how talented you are. If you don't have the talent, then you probably have to make that up in some other ways, kind of like me, and like teach or make something entertaining personality wise. Like the audience needs to learn something from, not learn, but they need to feel like it's worth watching you. So find out what your worth is. Yeah, if your worth is nips, that should help too. Oh yeah. Wait, am I able to do that? Cooking stream, don't make fun of me. No, I do eat some weird food. But at 9 a.m. insanely focused when I play. At 9 a.m. Can't put 3.5k little in the title yet. Find something else to make the title exciting. Plus, if your goal is streaming, shut the fuck up. Boo. If your goal is streaming, you're not gonna build a good stream by streaming. You build a good stream by like getting an audience from elsewhere, like YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is. Twitter thread about how to go pro. Read it before you leave. Okay, let's see it. I already have Twitter open. Let's see it. Oh yeah, Vu. You tweeted at me about the strat book. Let's look at this. You got fast hands? Tiles are usually minus 25 elo somewhere. Oh. Just make it entertaining. You actually sent a request? How do you know my email? The fuck? How do you know that? How did you send a request for this document? Don't you need to know like the document? You showed the link the last time I tuned in. I did? I know you could do that. Wait, you coach a team though, man. You trying to backdoor me. Snake in the grass. Got snake in the chat, man. Are you ready? There you go. This is what you get. Oh, fuck. I actually showed something. Oh, yeah, you aren't in Maine. But I won't be in Maine soon either. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, you see Mirage? You said we're actually good at the game. No, yeah, Fisk, yeah, if you want to build a stream, you gotta generate that audience from elsewhere. Let me see. Don't set any launch options. Oh fuck. Oh shit, my fault. I didn't even see your chat. Oh fuck, I already failed step 1. Play some matchmaking. Watch YouTube content, start understanding. Watch Vucius go and buy some fantastic advice. The videos want Messi to change. The concepts haven't. Hit Global Elite and join a team. Bro, you think people are gonna hit Global Elite before joining a team? That shit isn't that like, weren't you like trying to grind Global Elite for like forever? Vu or Dominate Sam on Thursday. Oh yeah, we do play Thursday. So CSGO Bible. Relit. But I'm not reviewing the demo. That was before the ranker set. Oh, okay. Have talent. Oh, this one's tough. Hopefully you get the stuff. I spent an extra 20,000 hours. Play for 5 to 10,000 hours. It's a good range. Good general rule of thumb. Somewhere in the middle. A middle, but not zero social skills. You start part of Don't say any slurs. No, that's the hardest part. I'm not gonna lie, man. That's the hardest part. Join a pro team and join CSPP. What is that? CS Pro Player Association? That's a guess. Damn, bro. Number 8 is hard as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Punish the NA math fixers. I'm sorry that you're on pro just so that I punish them. But this is equally as helpful as talent. Oh fuck! I gotta win this. Is a giveaway? CSPP and ESIC. Oh, this go player tried to not say. Come on, strike. Fuck this guy. Level 4 here. Vanish on level 10. That same G. Yeah, it's some pretty solid advice, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think yeah, anyone that's you know, about it, you know, you got like dedication. This is a good starting, like, you know, good rule of thumb for all this stuff. He's very specific on what he talks, like what you should be aiming for. Like this is a good rule of thumb. 10 rule of thumbs, you know. He does. Do not download Simple Conference. What? Yo, that is something, man. That is something. I should probably take his advice when he says to watch them. Just a meme to get the match fixtures part. Why are you saying it's good? No, this is solid advice, man. This is Rule 8, solid, tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. This is like really good. It's a good thing to aim for, you know. And then matchmaking, like that's the number way to improve at anything. Like outside the game too is matchmaking. Like this is some solid advice. Said he use feelings to get the right nade. To feel inadequate, watch how Simple goes through murder hole on Mirage. What do you mean? This actually stunts your growth as a CS player. Shall be playing MM. Exactly, bro. Fuck the 128 tick. That's some solid advice, man. What can I say? You know, you always dropping these bombs, dude. There you go. There you go. Dropping these bombs. Gotta support the brother. Simple go through murder hole. It's a 10. What does he do differently? He just jump or something? He does the jump, crouch, and then bounce. Dude, I'm not playing anything. I'm not touching CS the rest of the night. I'm calling it here. My head hurts. My head actually hurts, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not watching the demo. I'll watch it tomorrow. We had a game tomorrow. Look at something at least 0.5 seconds on anyone in this stream. What does he do? What is it? Ugh. Bro, I'm playing a game tomorrow. I'll watch the demo after tomorrow. Holy fuck, the chat. Watching this demo, can you please watch? Yeah, you think it's beneficial because you want an anti-strat. Talk to us when we make salmon and spam. I'm not making salmon and spam. I'm making Greek yogurt. I'm not making it. Plays here 5 months because I switched to Val. Is cheating a lot better now? In MM, I have no idea. So, oh yeah, the butterfly. Yeah, the butterfly that makes you better. Also, getting skins makes you more accurate. Think I have brain cells and strat you, Sam? Probably because I literally say why we do things when we do things. Yo, you guys actually gonna anti-strat? You're gonna get booed to anti-strat me? Yo, get Nart too. Make that a video. Getting the best CS YouTubers to anti-strat Sam R. Is it possible? Don't speak English. You should be fine. That is true. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I low-key get nervous because like I feel like a lot of teams in advance and main and all that stuff, like they have a strat book, but there's no rhyme or reason. So that you can know their strat book and like it's kind of hard to answer them because they just do random shit, you know? But I literally say like when and why we do things. The money, spawn, like I'm kind of fucking us up. I'm setting us up for failure. I'm not gonna lie, man. Sam L, Samri. Austin coach Sam R and make it a video. Is Austin smart? I've never played with Austin. We're not dropping the I. Sam L. I took a picture with Austin at LAN. I've never played with him though. I seen all his clips. That's how I found out about him when his channel just dude the YouTube algorithm was meat riding him. My whole homepage would be his clips. They're pretty good clips though. Yeah. Team's best worst maps. Best map. Well, hold on. Why are you asking this? Drop your ESCA first, and I'll answer that question. Starts coughing every round. His teammates start corner every round when they only have 2 players. Well, you can know that. You can know that, but yeah, you gotta know why. Yeah, I know why. Actually, no, there low key is some A string you can do. You could just nade stack us, but there's a reason why we do that. Like, it's a pretty safe setup to run on Inferno. Yeah, I still like Navi's basic, like their standard B hold. This is all kind of asking that. Yeah, actually, yeah. Why you asking that, man? Who was that? Kenya? Bikina? Kenya boy asking what my best and worst map is. Oh, you're from EU? Yeah, literally just go A. Like the worst player on the team, Stylin's there. Just go A. Like if you want to win, you know, like if you want to win, you're better off going A. I'm trying to think of any other map. Like if you want to win on overpass, yeah, you probably want to go A too. Stylin plays that site. Go when he's opping too, because that's like he's not good at that shit at all. Like he's really bad at it. So he gets a rifle because he can spray because he always misses the first shot. So you're better off like avoiding him when he's opping when he's rifling because he has a chance of killing you. But if he's opping, then you should just go for him because he never hits his first shot. So like anywhere Stylin plays, like that's where you should be going, Raven. Like I'm trying to give you advice for like this upcoming match, you know. Smoke bombing at the start of the round when they have 3B. That's not true. If it is, then Paul is not doing what I told him to do. Yeah, hold on, if that's true, that's actually bad. Oh, you're using that thing? I forgot what it's called. If you want to beat San Team, you want to pull your focus into the lane. Definitely not be insta-ban. Yeah, that too. If you want to beat us, yeah. Try and get Mirage. Yeah, spend all your time practicing Mirage stuff. No, we don't play the same site. I don't think I play any sites with Eli. I kind of feel bad. Eli, I never see Eli. He does his thing, man. Goated anchor. All right, I'm actually calling it now though. Oh my god, it's already 1 o'clock. I'm gonna try and stream more like this because this is more chill than going through demo notes and shit. So yeah, don't go pit. Yeah, just go arch. What's the reason for the Coffin's corner? It's like that's like what I call like our iffy setup, because it's a good general way to like start the CT side on Inferno, because it's like a good feeler type of setup. So then you can like start switching up paces once you realize the type of team you're playing. But the reason why it's also our standard is because most teams, in my experience, split or what's it called? Pack default. They just always just kill ball. And so that setup is like really good for taking banana if there's just like light presence. It's like a second step. There's like a lot of protocols to that setup. That's why we do that. Plus, if they rush, there's protocols for that. If there's a pack, there's protocols for that. We get to save util. We're not like dumping util instantly. It's like a really good iffy setup. Really good for feeling just info, like, yeah. So yeah, the fact that you know that Raven, you could exploit that you know that is our main iffy setup. I'd recommend op corner nade stack. I'd also recommend, I'm giving you free game right here. I recommend, and once you take card control, if you just see a close molly, once you take card control to boost 2 people half on nade stack coffins, that might work. That might do a little bit of something. Not focusing on what you were doing in main, dog? What do you mean? Just gotta play our game and be better than you? It's not gonna happen. Yeah, see, Rob knows what's up, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else would work really well. For B site. If you see a Furia smoke, You see a Fear Smoke, we're probably running at you, but it's gonna be too late anyways. Damn, I can't even think of Artels. Yo, I should low-key do this more. Yo, this is like a buddy type of scam. You know Better Call Saul? You ever seen Better Call Saul, Vu? You know, like the scene where you got the dude who's like, you got Jimmy McGill and then there's his friend, like they run that scam with the watch. You got the two guys, you know, they scam someone, you set them up. We could run this scam where I'll get like a team that we're gonna play in the future in the chat, and then you talk about anti-stratting, and they send you like $50, and then you just give them bullshit. And then you make $50, we split it 50-50. And then I'm acting scared. I'm like, wait, how do you know that? How you know we smoke? When we do this, how you know we smoke? We got 2B. And then like it's a scam, you know. And these things they think they're gonna beat us, but they don't. So it's like a win-win. I tell you the aim strat info that he knows. That's actually the best way to aim strat. Anything he doesn't tell you, is set in stone. Wait, what? Tell you the aim strat info that he knows. That's actually the best way. This is word of mouth. I'm selling it to every opponent you have, and they're all gonna win until the next team. So you want me to lose? At least still split it 50-50. You're kind of bogus, man. Split that shit. We'd be in it together. Or then you could just sell them. We could even be better, dude. I'll just start throwing. We'll throw the season. You sell it for like $100, and you don't even have to anti-strat. We'll just play like shit. It's training in the gravity changer, or the fuck Goku? What did Goku use? I don't know. I didn't watch Dragon Ball. My cousin was really into Dragon Ball. All right, I'm out of here. I actually have to go to bed. I have to eat so bad. I'll stream it tomorrow. Okay, I'll watch the demo tomorrow. Go through all that shit. I'm gonna be burned out if I keep on looking at my computer right now. All right, I'm out of here, chat. There's no convincing me to stay. It's over with. You just said me. Adios, Mew. All right, adios.